and I damn near forgot about everything. Shit. Damn,
Nope.
my bad. Let's
No
go,
biggie.
man.
No biggie. No biggie. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? What's going on? It's your boy Mills from Mill City Boxing, home of the high level pro boxing media, the fighters and trainers channel, and most importantly, the people's channel we got here. Bernie the Boxer. Tell him,
That's right.
did you miss me?
You miss me, yeah, man. It's Winners Wednesday. It's Winners Wednesday.
Let's talk
Let's
about
go.
it.
Let's
So,
go.
what's your reaction, man, to the brother, man, the brother retired. You know what I mean? He left his statement on Instagram yesterday. What's
Yeah,
your reaction, man? He's leaving the sport. He retiring.
I was I was shocked, not shocked that because I knew he was already hanging him up, but I didn't know how he was gonna do it. Like I said, I came in the gym the other day, and they said he had just had all the belts out. He had all my favorite belts out, this and that. I was like, what's going on? They said he had a photo shoot. So I was like, Bud, he be having photo shoots, so I didn't really think much of it. But now I see how it came together. You know what I mean? I thought the way he did it was so beautiful. I think he did it real classy, and man, he did a good job, man. So salute to him. Like I say, he deserves every bit of it. And boxing is a hard sport. I watch him. I watch him get ready for those fights, and man, I seen the strain that it put on him. I seen the work that he go through, and I used to feel sorry for him, believe it or not. Because some days, some of the other fighters, he's doing extra work. He get out there running, and I'm like, bro, you after all we just did, now you going to run? I mean, the mornings he'll wake up early, everybody's still sleeping. He sometimes if we didn't move fast enough, he'll go on his own. You know, and man, I just seen the work ethic that he had and the dedication that he had to being the best. And, man, so I'm glad to see him just be able to chill now. Can't complain about everything he did. He did everything. I mean, every little thing you could think about nuance on boxing, he touched it. So, now he can just rest and what I mean. What they say, good job. He said, what he say? Good job, well servant. Your job is done. But he's that's the yeah, that's the song. He said, well served, man. It's a church song. But anyway, yeah, man. So he did everything. Great ambassador for the sport. I feel like he's a trendsetter with the Ring magazine and with the Undisputed Trends. I think he definitely started those, or like made them more in this era, made them, what I mean, like for what they are now. I mean, just you can't complain. Man. I'm so happy for him, man. Shout out to Bud Crawford.
I mean, smash a like button, ladies and gentlemen. This is gonna be a legendary moment. But at the same time, Bernie, did you have conversations with Bud, thinking that this was he was gonna hang him up? Like you said, you didn't know how he was gonna do it, but did you guys have talks about it? Like, cause I remember when I approached you with those rumors that Eddie Reynoso was gearing up to having a rematch with Canelo Alvarez, and you like, yo, stop listening to the tabloids.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, talk to me. Did you guys have a discussion?
Nah, I knew it. I knew he was gonna hang him up. After the I knew after the fight. I knew after going to the camp. I knew after this was gonna be his last fight. You know what I'm saying? And he had already told me that it was over with, and I just didn't know what he was gonna do. He talked about what he was gonna do, set his shoes in the middle of the ring, or he had a different things he had mentioned about doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I knew it was over with. I knew it was done. But then you just never know with a fighter. We change our minds like clockwork. And you know what I'm saying? I don't know what kind of money they was gonna throw after him, throw at him, and that's always tempting. And he looks so good, he feels so good, and so you just never know what he's gonna do. But like I said, I don't think it's nothing else for him to do. I'm happy for everything that he's accomplished, and there's no other way to go out the way he did. Like the modern greats, Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather. And I don't think you can't beat his father time. So you know, and like he said, as good as he looked, and but the training camp, the injuries in training camp, the ailments, and like he said, I never went into a fight since it's been forever, what he went in 100%. He don't think no fighters really go in 100%. This is his words, what he said, and that's true. A fighter ain't gonna go out and tell you everything that he's hurting about or that's bothering them. You know what I mean? Because they're so macho and no excuses and things like that. But a lot of fighters be hurt, and like I'm saying, so everything that he's been through, no more pain through his body. You know what I'm saying? Salute to him. I swear. I'm so happy for him. Now, stay in the gym, stay in shape. He ain't got it ain't no real pressure on him, to maintain a weight or to do this or do that. He just stay in physical condition. And I think that's what he gonna do. Stay in good physical condition because he love to train. It's just he don't have to. It's not his job anymore.
I was listening to you live earlier. Make sure you guys check out Bernie the Boxer on YouTube. But you was talking about whenever you guys, decide to enter our career, whether it was Ricky Burns, Sean Porter, Errol Spence, shit, Madrimov, Canelo Alvarez, whenever the time you guys decided to be his friend, you got different fans now, right? You got fans and friends like yourself that are happy about the situation. Yeah, fighters like Andre Ward, he's able to put those gloves down on his own terms and not let boxing retire him, let him
Yeah,
retire boxing. But then you got others like Turkey Al Sheik that put emojis with the heart broken. You know what I mean? People that are sad that, maybe their favorite fighter is, left the sport, and what they maybe that's the only reason why they were watching boxing was maybe because it was Crawford and they don't like these other styles. But yeah, what would you say the difference maker, from like Turkey Al Sheik having his heart broken and fans like that, and guys like yourself?
well, I think what I mean. It's just when I say they heartbroken, it's just you want more. We always want more. You know what I mean? It seems like he has so much more to give. And again, Crawford is a wonder to watch. And like I say, they don't make him like Crawford. He's a throwback type of guy, in and out the ring, and so you wonder who can carry that torch. When Ali left, it was a void. Sugar Ray Leonard left, it was a void. Floyd left, it was a void. So Crawford is. We wonder who can do it like that. Who can do it like that. And just never know. You got to stay with boxing. Boxing's been everlasting. It's been around for over 200 years now, over 100 years. So I don't think no boxing is going nowhere. I think Crawford has inspired others. Really want to improve onto his legacy or try to top his legacy or things like
You're
that.
going,
So
your voice is going in and out, Bernie. I don't know if you're on the microphone.
okay, I think can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
You good? Okay, because I think I'm not on my phone. I'm not in my radio. But anyway, okay, like I said, people want to, a lot of fighters look up to him and want to add to, take some pages out of his book and try to, be more like him or surpass him. And I just think that's what it is. Boxing an everlasting sport, and I think it's not going nowhere. And let's just look for the next one to carry the torch.
Right, right. Um, Getting into some of these, people that were saluting him, then there were people that had some other things to say. So obviously, we'll start with the one that has a fight this weekend or this Friday. Jake Paul. He says he's not retiring, bro.
I don't know. I mean, the champ, he usually sticks by his word and what he says. So now, if he go into an exhibition, he's still retired. So, I don't know why you just can't believe the man when he say something. I'm inclined to believe somebody when they say something. I'm not over trying to figure out if they're lying or.
You got something dingalinging over there, like a key in your hell yeah.
Camera good as hell.
Shit.
Oh my goodness, damn! You picking up everything. You can shit. You can hear a grasshopper farting or something, but that motherfucker. All right. Yeah, I'm driving the car, man. I'm on my way to put some gas in this motherfucker. I ain't got no gas in this motherfucker. Can you hear me good though?
Yeah, yeah. My next one is Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah.
He says, "What a tool! I can name 4, 5, 6 fighters that compete and probably even beat him. Please, two good fighters to beat. Congratulations."
I don't know what that means.
Is
What?
he talking about Canelo Alvarez and Spence are the only two fighters that he beat that were good? Is that what you think?
I don't know what he say. Read it one more time for me.
Yeah. So these are two quotes. What
Uh
a
huh.
tool! What a tool! I can name 4, 5, 6 fighters that compete and probably even beat him. Please. That's one quote. Second quote is two good fighters he beat. Congratulations.
Okay.
De La Hoya hating on Crawford.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what can I say about Asha De La Hoya?
Maddie couldn't get the Virgil Ortiz and Crawford fight or something like that. Why would he? Why would he? Why you
they
think?
kept,
Why you think
they
he would
kept
say
Virgil
something
Ortiz
like that?
they kept Virgil Ortiz away from Crawford. They was ranked high in the WBO. Him, Danny Garcia at the time. It was him and Danny Garcia for real at 47, and they chose not to fight. Neither one of them chose to try to enforce their mandatory. Oscar De La Hoya with his pool obviously could. Danny Garcia with his resume and who he is, could have did that, but they chose not to. I don't know why they upset about. I would think he'd be mad because he hates Canelo. So I thought he'd be mad. I think I'd be glad that Canelo got his ass whooped or that he got beat. But obviously not. Probably his
That's
heritage.
probably why he's giving him credit for one of those two. You know what I mean? He's like,
But to say that he beat two good fighters is crazy because if you look over Oscar De La Hoya's resume, um, he beat some really good fighters, but let me see. His best wins was I Corte, which is a close fight. He pulled it out with a drop in the last round. He was trained out. He didn't get the victory. Shane Mosley, he lost to Mosley twice. Um,
for now,
Andy Vargas had already been destroyed by Trinidad. Um, got knocked out by Bernard Hopkins. He lost to Felix Sturm, arguably. Mm. So he beat Rafael Ruelas, who was decent when he won the title, unified it. He would have unified the titles. Beat Rafael Ruelas. He beat Jesse James Leha, was too small. He beat Gotti, who was really small. He beat Obakar. He fought Obakar. Obakar had been knocked out by Trinidad. Um, so yeah, I mean, he talking he the things he's saying is like, I mean, so what great fighters did he beat?
Ricardo Mayorga, not necessarily great, right? Shea Mosley beat him twice.
Mm-hmm. So so what we talking about, Washington Hoya? He beat Chavez. Chavez was gone when he beat him. Chavez was old.
He
He
beat
didn't
Hector
really
Camacho.
he didn't really beat Sweet Pea. Sweet Pea was old too when he fought him. Camacho was old when he fought him. Now these are great names, but
They're
where
great
are they in their
names.
but when they where are they in their careers? Where are they in their careers compared to yours, who was a great fighter with a lot of talent, a lot of heart, a lot of speed, a lot of power? But where were they? And a lot of people thought he lost to Sweet Pea. You know what I mean? And Sweet Pea was an old man, got dropped. Sweet Pea dropped him in the ninth round. So I mean, so who is the great guys he beat? Now again, he had a machine behind him at the same time to able to get him those fights. Crawford never had a machine. He had a machine behind him. Crawford never had a machine, you know. And still, that's what I was saying earlier too, though. But look at his skill set. When you look at him, who was gonna beat him? Nobody. You wouldn't favor nobody to beat him. You see what he just did to Canelo, moved up 3 weight classes. See what he did to Spence.
Oscar also did for the Vargas as well when
That's
Vargas
why
only
I
had
say Vargas already been destroyed by Trinidad when they
yeah
fought. He's
one
already
one
destroyed.
loss, one loss.
Yeah, but it was a bad loss. He took a beating in that fight with Trinidad.
Yeah, yeah. Still got him out of there in
Yeah.
the 11th though.
Huh?
But Trinidad was, I mean, Oscar De La Hoya would still be able to get him out of there in the 11th.
Yeah, and that was a hell of Fernando Vargas was competitive in that fight. It was a competitive fight still. But Oscar De La Hoya did stop him. But like I'm saying, I mean, so what great fighters did he beat? He lost to Shane twice. What great fighters did he beat? Like I'm saying, okay, Chavez was old. Okay, Jesse James Leha, they were all good names, but Jesse James Leha was a 26 pounder for real. Arturo Gotti, we already know his limitations. Rafael Wells was a great win, because Rafael Wells was undefeated and but a solid fighter. What great win, Corte. Okay, that was a tremendous match. They was like even neck and neck until he caught him, dropped him. Okay, so I'm saying he fought some great names, but it's always I don't understand the hate that Crawford gets for real. Why when he showed so much love to everybody? So why did Crawford get all the hate when he showed so much love? That's my question. You know. And then I said the Hoya again for him. We're gonna leave it alone. But you was just on Shannon Sharp, just saying the same shit. You was just on Shannon Sharp saying all them different things about the organization and bodies, and now Crawford is a heel because what I mean. I'm trying to say, come on now. So now he's a heel because he didn't pay that. He didn't want to pay that, or he didn't want to give him as much as you thought they should get. So you were just, but before that, you was just talking about how the organization was corrupt. So what credibility is Asadolo who you got? For real. I try to give him a lot of credit for fighting everybody and taking them fights, which I did. But now we were taking a closer look. Okay, so who did he beat for real?
Mm.
That was so great.
I hear what you're saying. A lot of those guys, a lot of those great names were past due. You know,
Yes,
but
yes.
he's still giving him credit for two of those wins that Crawford got. And you know what, it's not good to break down the resume and tear down the fighter, after all they have done, either or. But do you think it's maybe because he's a promoter and that the 4, 5, 6 names that he's mentioning are guys on his roster?
But you wouldn't favor none of those guys. Listen, Virgil Ortiz still has not fought for the world title. If Virgil Ortiz can beat Crawford, then he can beat anybody. You would think, right? Four other five guys on his who's on his roster. Golden Boy ain't shit no more. They promotional company really ain't hitting on shit. What stars do they got? None. They don't really got no stars. So I mean, what I mean? It's just I don't know. I don't know. And I don't even care. People it's just something who gives a fuck. Crawford beat everybody in his path, One of the most avoided, one of the most they tried to blackball him and he rose through the top, no matter what. So what we gonna say? You just seen him. He going to Colombia. He getting mauled. He going to Japan. He getting mauled. He going everywhere he go. Everybody recognizing him. You know what I mean? So what is it not to what does that say? All those things speak volumes. He beat Undango. Undango was undefeated champion. Beat a guy that was like 48-0 for his title, knocked him out in his hometown. Unified against Ricky Burns. Ricky Burns is already a two-way world champion. He became a three-way world champion. So he was, Undango beat him. Crawford destroyed Undango, undefeated. Who else was it? Like I say, who else was it? Of course, Gamboa, Victor Posto, you know, Jeff Horn just coming off. Now he just went to Canelo with Manny Pacquiao, mauled him, won the fight, and this is the great Manny Pacquiao. Nobody knew Jeff Horn, but after that they knew who Jeff Horn was. So then he destroyed Jeff Horn. I mean, he got them good wins over Hank Lundy, Benavidez, Felix Diaz. Come on now, come on now, come on now. So we can't put Crawford down in no way, you know. And again, they say welterweight was his best weight, which is where he did his most body of work at because he was the champion for 5, 6 years there, and couldn't get none of them guys to fight him. None of them guys, he couldn't get none of those guys in there to fight him. Spence waited forever to fight him. Sean Porter waited forever to fight him. Um, so how was that Crawford's fault? You know, he was one of the most viewed on ESPN. He had high views on HBO. So what are we talking about? It's the people. It was the people that played the power people that was keeping him down because he was too dangerous. He was too dangerous. That's just a fact. He even outed them all. He outed them all. Pacquiao wouldn't fight him, right? Couldn't get Pacquiao. They both on the same as like Shakur couldn't get Lomachenko, or whatever it is. You're on the same promotional side. Can't get that. And everybody said you make in-house fights, and he can't get a great in-house fight. So who's at fault for that? You know what I'm saying? So that speaks volumes of him. You know what I mean? How great and dangerous he is. He couldn't get those fights. Um, so man, shout out to Crawford, but he did it his way. At the end of the day, he is a 5-weight world champion, 3-time undisputed champion. No matter how he slices it, I don't give a fuck. And you can't get that by fighting nobody. Why everybody else didn't do it? Why Danny Garcia ain't a 5-weight world champion? Why Keith Thurman ain't a 5-weight world champion? Why Sean Porter ain't a 5-weight world champion? Why Earl Spence ain't a 5-weight world champion? Come on now.
Why do you
Why he
feel?
only ring magazine 4 times? Like, the only 2 guys that got that is Floyd Mayweather and Pacquiao, right?
Hmm.
Not even Oscar De La Hoya. Did Oscar De La Hoya even ever have a ring magazine championship?
I believe so.
He probably should have got it at. He probably should have got it at. He probably should have got it at lightweight, but they wasn't making him. And maybe 42, because maybe 47 too. Maybe he probably deserved them all. Because Pete was the champion. He beat Pete. They gave him the fight against Pete, or was a competitive fight he won. But he never. The fact is, he don't have him in the trophy case. So,
Mm.
it
You
is what
know,
it is, man. I don't know why Crawford did all the hate. I don't understand it.
De La Hoya says, "What a tool." Obviously he's referring to Turkey Al Sheikh. What is his deal with the
What
with
happened,
that?
Mio?
Huh?
Mio, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Nah.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. My car. I had my car turned off. I guess it is playing through my car. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, De La Hoya says, "What a tool." He's referring to Turkey Al Sheikh and him as a tool. And then he puts the laughing my ass emojis.
I said 5-weight world champions, you bum. Mr. Fury, you fucking bum. I said 5-weight.
Damn it.
5-weight. And who came out on top of that series? They was fighting each other, but who dominated that series? Who was it? They fought. They mixed it up, but they didn't fight. Who was that? Keith Thurman never fight Sean Porter. I mean, Keith Thurman never fight Spence. Spence fought both of them. So Porter, the one that did all the work, but he came up short. And you know what Crawford did to Porter? Lord bless him.
Keith beat Porter and Danny.
Huh?
Keith beat Porter and Danny.
Okay, he beat Porter and Danny. And then Danny beat, and then Porter, Keith beat Danny and Porter. Okay. And then Keith Thurman beat, he said he beat them too. And all right. So Keith Thurman and Sean Porter fought them all and came up short. Keith Thurman definitely didn't want to fight Crawford. You've seen that. Said the WBO wasn't worth nothing and whatever else he could claim, which who cares about the belts? It should have been the best. Crawford was the best. Crawford called Keith Thurman out, first of all. Y'all forget that he called Keith Thurman out, that he went up and said, I want Keith Thurman because Keith Thurman is the man of the division. I want Keith Thurman. That alone. Fuck the belt. The man coming for my head. What he do? He turned it. He did what the Bible say, turn the other cheek. Keith Thurman turned the other cheek. So anyway, I see people in here trying to hate. And for y'all that come and try to find anything negative, you know you live a miserable life. I know you have nothing going in life. I can tell if you to come over here and try to nitpick and try to find anything against me or Bud, you have a miserable life. I guarantee if you show me your life is nothing to be proud of, I can almost guarantee that you have nothing going, nothing. Nothing about you in life is proper. Nothing. You live a miserable life because this is your only haven to come in and say something and try to make yourself feel good about anything that you have going. You've got to be miserable bums.
Mhm. I think it's
So
because
listen,
people are saying the audio is better. Is it because you're connected to the phone, the TV,
mhm.
your car?
What about now?
Way better.
Can you hear me? All right. So listen, when Spence beat, I'm not gonna argue with y'all, motherfuckers, man. I'm not gonna. I ain't gonna get in there. Spence and Crawford. When was Canelo passing? When was Spence passing? When he looked good against. Oh gosh, y'all said he was the eye collector and this and that. So he was past it. Then he passed the ends and got his neck broke and came back and won world titles. Willie Pep fell out of a plane while he was asleep and came back and had 100 fights. So what we talking about here? The man got in an accident. He wasn't in the hospital no month or nothing. He was in the hospital for a couple of weeks. Lost a few teeth, and now all of a sudden something wrong. He came back and beat Danny Garcia easily, beat Ugas, and y'all still find a reason there's something wrong with him when Bud beat. Mm.
A lot of people don't believe that Bud is gonna retire just due to the fact of how, good he looked. Some people said that the performance that he had with Canelo was the best that he's had in his career. I mean, do you feel people when they say stuff like that? Because some of the greatest say that they retired and because they love boxing so much, it's hard for them to get away from it, living a regular
Can you hear me?
civilian life. Yeah. Oh,
Can you hear me?
yeah, a little, yeah, better. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
But I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? It's because you have your car on, right? You can't hear me?
Dumb ass phone. Nah.
All right, I'm gonna come. I'm gonna take you out and come back in. Make it better. Come right back in. Smash the like button. I think what he needs to do, right, is take it off of his Bluetooth. That's what he needs to do. Is get his phone off of the Bluetooth, off of his radio, because then from there it's kind of like distorted, right? It's nasty work. But now I gotta ask him. I gotta ask him a couple other questions too, man. Can hear you. That's why he answered. He can hear you. That's why he answered. Nah. Smash the like button, y'all. Salute everybody on the live. Appreciate you guys for tapping in. Seeing that Tim Zoo won out there in Australia against Anthony Vanezuela. He actually he's out of here in Massachusetts. So shout out to him for going out there. I think he went 12 rounds as well. Or 10. Don't know exactly how many they went. Gotta check it out. We
Can you
back.
hear me now? I got you. All right.
Better.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is crispy now.
All right.
So yeah,
So,
either way, this is
we
this
get,
is great news though. I mean, my question to you was because he's such a great fighter. He looked so great against Canelo Alvarez that
uh-huh.
some people would say that because living a boxing lifestyle and being competitive like himself, living a civilian lifestyle is going to be hard, and he's going to come back just like some of the greats have. What you think?
Nah, you see the thank you. Do you see what two influential guys in his as far as his boxing is they retired and they living good. Andre Ward, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Floyd Mayweather. And I think he got the more Andre Ward in him because he's endeared to the people. I think he's a down to earth type of guy. And You know what I mean? He can talk. He's a what's up, nephew? Good.
Can't hear you. I can't hear you, Bernie. Bernie, Bernie, I can't hear you. Bernie, you're next to the Wi-Fi. Bernie, your phone. You you're connected to your car. You gotta you're on the wire. You're on the Bluetooth. Take Bluetooth out. I can't hear you. Or you're on mute. Are you on mute? Because I can't hear a word you saying. Damn, this is nasty work. You're on your Bluetooth. You're on your Bluetooth. I can't. Yeah, he's funny as hell. I can't hear him at all. Bernie, are you on mute? Did you mute? Are you on mute? Can you hear me? This is funny as hell. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Oh shit! I can't hear you, Bernie. You're on mute. Let me take you out and come back in. Hold on. Hold on right now. Hold on. He's funny as hell. Smash the like button, y'all. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't. We're gonna get the phone lines in and continue this talk as well. Um, he's definitely on the Bluetooth of his radio, and technical difficulties all over the place when it comes to this interview. No cap. But salute to Terence Crawford. Great career. We gotta obviously start talking about some other things that are happening in boxing as well. But I have a big question to ask Bernie, and I know that you guys are gonna be interested in his answer. So hopefully we can get this shit going. You know what I mean? Let me because I should I ask? No, because I'm not gonna ask, and then next thing you know, what somebody else hits up Bernie and says, "Yo, can I do an interview?" And they're gonna ask the question, so I'm not gonna say it because it's a heater. It's a heater, and I know you guys are gonna want to know. But smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel. Are you guys sad or are you guys happy that Terrence Crawford is retired? Like he has performed so well against against the Canelo Alvarez fight, right? And another question for Bernie. I fuck it. Let's just say it, right? How do you feel? How does Canelo Alvarez feel about this situation? You know, let's be real. How do you think Canelo feels about this? We good money.
Okay. All
All
right.
right.
So
This
listen.
talk to me.
Then the motherfucker bitch ass nigga talking about tell Bud to give me a new. What the fuck, Bud need to give me a new? You pussy! I swear to God, I wish I could catch one of you motherfuckers and wring your fucking neck. You goofy motherfucker, just say dumbass shit. Bud, tell Bud to give me a new phone. Why the fuck Bud need to give me a new phone? What you mean? The fuck you say some stupid ass shit like that for? You silly motherfuckers. That's what y'all niggas drive me crazy because y'all so fucking weak. I swear to God, and if you see me. All you would do was kiss my ass and shake my hand, you bitch ass niggas. You would never come up to me and say one word to me, nothing negative. All you niggas over here is just say goofy ass shit on the internet and never say, you would never say nothing that you say to me on the internet. Nothing. You would never say that to my face. Never. You goofy motherfuckers. Tell Bud to get him a new phone. What the fuck Bud need to get me a new phone for? You motherfuckers just lame as hell.
Nasty
Yeah.
word. You read that shit and you remembered to say it, huh? You like now that we got everything that we get technical difficulties, you
I
needed to
got a
make sure.
I got a fucking iPhone Pro that got the newest phone, I'm guessing. The 17, you stupid motherfucker. The fuck? I wish I would have kept my Android. I didn't have none of these fucking problems. None of these problems. I don't like the shit. Fuck you talking about? Motherfucker, I got the best phone, supposedly. Fuck you talking about? Silly motherfucker.
Bernie, what do you think that Canelo's feeling right now? Now that that team wanted the rematch, and now that Crawford has declared, retirement
They didn't
yesterday.
want the rematch. They did not want the rematch, Mill. They didn't want the
Mm.
rematch, Mill. That's just people just talking. They didn't want the rematch, you know. And it was just like I seen. Did you see Stephen A? Stephen A. Bitch ass. You know he talking about what I mean, talking about he would have loved to see. Did he say love to see it or he wishes Charlo and Boots? Man, Boots, stop playing. I'm not even gonna get in that conversation, but I'm just saying, just it's shit like that. Stephen A. When I see him, I'm gonna get on his ass. When I see Stephen A., I'm not gonna let him slide on that. I'm not gonna let him slide about what he said about the fifth round of the fight. I'm not gonna let him. That was Max Kellerman. I'm gonna get on Max Kellerman's ass. Stephen A. I forgot something else. I think it was the ninth round or something. He said some whatever it was. I'm gonna remember it, but I'm gonna get on his motherfucking ass. You know, the motherfucker just saying dumbass shit. Just stupid shit. Just piss me off. Just stupid shit. Like Prentice said, motherfuckers just don't want to know. It's better to feign ignorance than to actually there's the truth. They don't want to accept the truth. Man, fuck. What do Crawford do? Why they hate Crawford so bad? I swear to God. You know what? I think they hate Crawford because Crawford, in a some way, he seems perfect. He seems perfect. You really can't get nothing off on Crawford. You know, you seen him hurt. You seen him go through the hurt. You seen him beat the fuck out of everybody. You seen him take on every challenge. You seen the way he carry himself. Never put nobody down. Now you gotta understand that. Never even slightly sneak this is no fighters, sneak this nobody. And you got fighters doing that all the time. You got people in public place in high places, they doing that all the time. You know what I mean? He stayed with the family. He stayed with the family. You know what I mean? Stay with the family. That's a huge thing. Stay with his team. You know what I'm saying? Stay in his hometown. So you got all these things that I think people just hate Crawford because they don't have that integrity to beat. Them niggas are beating turned on their family. Them niggas beating left their city. Them niggas beating everything you could think about. Not real. And I think that's the day and age. Motherfuckers just don't like real. That when you see it, it's just like a vampire getting his sunlight. Motherfuckers.
Yo, Bernie, I'm gonna give you a recap of some of these questions because the audio was so bad.
Let's
So,
go.
Oscar De La Hoya says, "What a tool! I can name 4, 5, 6 fighters that compete or probably even beat him. Please."
But why he didn't name him?
Mm.
Why he didn't name him? Why he didn't name him? Name him. Name 5 or 6 fighters that could beat Crawford. It's just that simple. And then and then to I mean who it ain't like he had nobody in the fire. Like he was itching to get somebody in there with Crawford. I mean, so what you so upset for? Like I say, Virgil Ortiz had time. You still ain't put that man in the world title fighting. You Oscar De La Hoya. And you still ain't put him in there with nobody. With nobody. You ain't put Virgil Ortiz in there with nobody. So what does that say about it? What does that say?
The next one he says, two good fighters he beat. Laughing my ass off emojis. Congratulations. So he gives the congratulations, but he has to say, you know, quite some other things negative to say about Crawford. What do you think the hate stems from?
I'm saying, you got a guy like Crawford that, again, who speaks the real and stands on what he said. You got a guy like him, like I said, he just did the contradiction with the Shannon Sharp and then the message he put out. And you see how he was. You see how he was talking. Oh, Crawford, it's so bad. It's this. It was so bad. And then you was just on Shannon Sharp talking about how the organizations is terrible. How the Ring Magazine is the belt to have. How this and all the praising the Ring Magazine. So I mean, what does that say about you? Sound like a little bitch. Now them panties, them fishnet panties, they looking real deserving. They looking real, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, nigga, you is one of the motherfuckers that wear fishnet pants because you a bitch for real. You a bitch for real. Yeah, you a bitch for real. Getting high on that dope, on that coke back then and doing some suspect shit, boy. Doing some suspect shit, boy. Yeah, you had living a double life. Living a double life, yeah, you a fighting motherfucker, but ooh, well, when the lights go out, you putting on fishnet and ain't no telling us what you're doing, boy. Serious
Damn,
business, serious. Yeah. So when you looking at Crawford, he's an alpha male. That's what I'm saying. That's why motherfuckers hate on Crawford, because again,
crazy work.
he's an alpha male. I named it. The family, the loyalty, the career, everything that he's put together, and he did it his way. He didn't have to bow down, had to apologize to nobody, didn't have to, you know what I mean? They want them narratives. They want all those narratives. But the sheep who don't gotta bow down to nobody, who don't gotta kiss nobody ass, seen that and didn't shrink. He said, I want this motherfucker. I like a motherfucker that can stand up for themselves. I like a person that believes in himself and values and have moral, because they're all real spiritual and religious people. So you know what I'm saying? You find somebody that embodies that, and he's a boxing fan, you know what I mean? Shit. So he gravitated them with no, you know what I'm saying? Is they gravitated like that. I'm with somebody with equal yoke. Everybody else probably groveling at him, calling him his excellency and all this old weak ass shit, bowing down because he got money, because he's supposed to be somebody. But Crawford look at him like he a regular person, which he is. You know what I mean? So that when it comes in respect, you know what I'm saying? He said on Bronx Tale, he said I'm funny, but I'm not that funny. He said I laugh and everybody starts laughing. Come on now. I'm not that funny. It's because they that's why. You know what I'm saying? And Crawford ain't like that. So, when he put a mirror up to their faces, just like all these bums in the comments, such as I do, they shrink, it makes them feel something bad about themselves that's missing in within themselves.
When he mentions what a tool, do you feel like that's a shot to also to Turkey,
What?
saying what a tool? Who is he a tool to? Do you feel like he's throwing a shot to Turkey Al Sheikh in the Ring magazine?
I don't know. 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 I don't know about that. He said he didn't bow down to Turkey. I thought he was holding his hand. Holding his hand. The turkey might have grabbed his hand. The turkey might have grabbed his hand. Turkey might have grabbed his hand. So what? Turkey grabbed his hand. So what? We hold our hands together in prayer, you silly motherfucker. Fuck you talking about? Nigga, they wasn't walking down the street. They wasn't arm in arm, you goofy motherfucker. Fuck you mean? He grabbed his hand. So fucking what? To present him, to push him up to whatever he was doing, you silly motherfucker. So what? He grabbed his hand. Motherfucker, don't you grab hands every fucking time you shake somebody's hand, or you do the fist pound, you weak motherfucker?
This obviously Jake Paul, he's saying he's not gonna retire. Do you feel like that fight will happen because there's so much money on the table?
I don't know why he's saying that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why he's saying that. I don't know what he's going against the grain for. Like I said, I'm inclined to believe a man what he say, I believe him when he say it. You know what I'm saying? That's me. If he said especially a guy like Crawford, who's not known to be a liar. So if he said he retired, he retired. That's he is. And if he ain't retired, if he come back out of retirement, so what? That's he as this moment he's retired. Okay, so as this moment he's retired. Secret dance move. Fuck you and your mama.
Damn. Nasty work. Listen, so I got a question for you because I wasn't able to ask you this. Obviously, Keyshawn Davis went to, the press conference with Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez. He made a statement saying that, he had to look at all his team and he had to cancel everybody out. I mean, what's your response to that?
Bernie be sound broke. Pussy boy, I got a half a milli, you bitch ass nigga. Is that broke? I got a half a milli, motherfucker. That's what it sound like. I sound like I got a half a milli, motherfucker. Fuck,
Mm.
they broke. I got a half a milli, motherfucker. All right. Hey, some like I say, we family. Things they don't go together. Things go, you know, it's business, but it's all love on my end. Love DB3, love Keyshawn Davis. I think he's a superstar. And you know what I'm saying? I don't have to say much. You know what I'm saying? The kid said it all. You know what I mean? If you know how to read between the lines, then you know, you can understand what's going on. And you know what I mean? One thing for sure, two things for certain is that we are responsible for what we do. You know what I mean? Not one other man. So, you know what I mean? If you look at the team's actions and you look at, you know what I mean, others' actions, then you know what I mean, you can go from there. But again, I'm still a huge fan of Keyshawn Davis. I think he's a superstar, and I wish him nothing but the best.
Yeah, absolutely. I seen that Bo Mac said something on Jamel Herring saying, "Hey, I'm not going to say anything to ruin his integrity." I believe
You said what?
he's not going to say anything about his comments because I don't want to ruin his integrity.
Bo, you know, he's a diplomat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's a diplomat. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, the business don't got to be spoke on because, you know, I mean, it's already been spoken on. So, you know, I mean, just based off what done happen, you know what I mean? I just know how Bo move. I just know how everybody else moves, you know what I mean? And really, you know, I'm just on the team. I don't make any decisions, you know what I mean? My opinion might be asked, you know what I mean? But, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the final decision is Bo's, you know what I mean? I think he handled everything well, you know. I don't know why the kid decided to go another route because I know for a fact, you know, Bo didn't quit on him. So, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't say why he wanted to change teams. I don't know. But I wish the best with him. I seen with Shakur, I seen with that. And that might be a better fit for him, you know, far as everything all around the board, you know. Whoever's gonna train him, I wouldn't know. But, you know, he's with his best friend and he's with his partner, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, they signed with Prince and you know what I'm saying? Maybe, you know what I mean? They got a good team over there. You know, you got Ray Diesel working, you know, they got a little bit of everybody working in there. Got Rasheem Jefferson over there. You know what I mean? So they probably good. You know what I mean? Like hey, you know, probably a better way for him. I don't know, but like again, I wish him the best. You know what I'm saying? I'm a watching fight. I think he a superstar. And mhm.
What do you think about his interaction with Richardson Hitchens at the press conference?
uh, you know, it was good. It's good. You know, they've been beefing, they've been arguing. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, you know, been talks about the fight, and I don't know what the tension is about. I couldn't tell you what that is about. They're young, good fighters, and you know, I don't know, but I think you know what I'm saying. Shoot, it'll be a good fight.
Rumors say that Jermaine Ortiz will be getting the opportunity for that IBF belt on the card. I mean, what do you think about that fight?
Jermaine Ortiz. You said what? Oh yeah, it's a good fight. You know, for Richardson. You know, it's a big card for in boxing. You know, what I mean, it's a huge fight, and to fight underneath that card is going to be really good. It's his hometown, New York City. You know, what I'm saying. I think Ortiz. I don't know if he's from out there too, but you know what I'm saying. So, and they got a rivalry in the amateurs, from what I heard. So you know what I'm saying? It's a good fight. You know, Jermaine Ortiz is a battle tested veteran. You know what I'm saying? If I can call him a veteran, you know, he's already fought some high profile fights, fought for the world title, accounted himself well. You know what I'm saying? And so that's a good fight for Richard Hitchson. A lot of people know who Jermaine Ortiz is in the boxing world. And it's not no gimme fight. It's be his first title defense in his hometown. So I think it's a good fight to make. You know what I'm saying? Keyshawn would have been a real dangerous fight for the first fight. You know, it would have been for his first title defense, been a real dangerous fight. But you know, either one is a good fight. Keyshawn would have had a more high profile on it, but I think it's great for him. Shout out to Richard Hitchson.
They was talking about, they wanted like, 2.5, 2.8, for that fight, somewhere around those lines. What I mean by that is like 2.5. Do you feel like that is worth it, for those names, to go at it with each other? Oh, you froze, right? Oh, let me get you out and come back in.
Here I go.
Oh, yep, you're good.
Yeah, now go ahead. What'd you say again, Mill?
They wanted like 2 million plus for the fight, each fighter. Do you feel like that's worth it? I mean, for those two guys to go at it?
Who getting 2 million?
Each Richardson Hitchens and Keyshawn Davis. That's what they wanted for the fight.
Uh, I, man, I don't think I don't know about that might have been that's a good I wish all the fighters get as much money as they can make, but if that's what separated them, I think a shoe, a millie would have been good, millie and a half, or what I'm saying, whatever it is, I would have wanted to work it out. I don't know if 2 million was been my mark, but let me see how close you can get me to 2 million. Everything is a negotiation.
Right, right. I
Mhm.
like the fight. I like. What do you think about Chushu Carrington fight for the WBO title? Carlos
WBC,
Castro. Nope,
WBC.
WBC. Yeah, I keep
Yeah.
saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Great fight for Shushu. He been wanting to be a champ. And Shushu is a tremendous talent. I was watching your live with him, and like he said, he was fighting at a higher weight, and because he didn't want to. And like I say, I mean, Shushu was a 26 pounder. He was winning the national championship at 140. I think he won a national Golden Gloves at like 139 or 141 or something. You know what I'm saying? So that says a lot. And he's really a 26 pounder. So Shushu is a tremendous talent. For whatever reason they
Okay. Smash the like button, y'all. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel yet as well.
yeah.
We back.
Uh Yeah, so he fighting. One thing, a good thing about it is that they didn't upgrade him to the championship. For whatever they stripped Fulton for. What I'm saying, they didn't upgrade Shushu, which I'm glad about that. I want you to ask him that. You know what I mean? When I had put that in the chat, but like I'm saying, if you would have been elevated, how would you have felt, or are you glad to be fighting for the title? Basically, which is I think any fighter should want to fight for the title. You should never be elevated to a champion. It cannot elevate you to a champion. Only you can elevate yourself to a champion. So, fighting for the title was good. He can rest easy with that, knowing that he won his title in the ring. And this is not the first time things happen in boxing where they take titles from this person and however it go. But he can't do nothing about it. All he can do is get in the ring and what I'm saying, try to realize his dream, which is becoming world champion. So shout out to Shushu. What I mean. I think that adds to the card. It's in New York. What I'm saying? They basing it's an East Coast thing. Shakur's from Jersey. Teofimo's really from they piss me off. They keep calling him from Brooklyn. He's not from Brooklyn, he's from Florida. But they will not stop saying this weak ass shit. He's not from Brooklyn. So why do you cannot ask somebody, why do you keep saying he's from Brooklyn if he's not from Brooklyn? Why do you keep saying he's from Brooklyn and he's not from Brooklyn? He's from Florida. Now his father might have been born in Brooklyn or might lived in, but he's not from New York. But we're gonna keep lying and saying that this guy is from New York when he's from Florida. But you got like I say, Shushu's homegrown, Richard Hitchson homegrown. You got Jermaine Ortiz over there. So what I mean, I think it's a good card, being that what I mean. So what I'm saying? Trying to everything is budget friendly, too. And I'm sure they paying those guys pretty good money, the top tier guys, the main eventers. You know what I mean? And that's what the business is about too. Business is about, making the right decisions. And the guys didn't show up for the fight. They didn't want to make a deal. So I think this is still a good fight. And I think this marinates the Keyshawn Davis Richard Hitchison fight. It elevates Shushu. You know what I'm saying? I think, like you say, Matchroom get involved. Him and a Nick Ball will be a great little unification fight. Espinoza obviously is not looking to fight unify for the title. So who else is the IBF then? Angelo Leo. So Shushu got some good little fighters if he wants to become undisputed. What I mean? He got a nice little path, and all those guys are solid. And so I think it's gonna be a good card. Those three fights alone is, perfect. And I don't know who else gonna support those guys. Plus, you said you got Xander Zayas running at the same time over there in Puerto Rico, of trying to become a unified champion. But if you're there in the garden that night, what I'm saying, those three fights are a treat. So shout out to Turkey Al Sheik. Shout out to everybody involved. Can't wait to see the event. I'm so excited.
Obviously, people are talking about the main event a lot lately. And when it comes to Shakur and Teofimo Lopez, they're real focused. The press conference passed. Tio obviously makes a lot of jokes, tries to get people out of their comfort zone in that press conference a little bit. But in the most part, he's saying that he's stopping Shakur in the ninth.
Mhm.
And then you got Shakur on the other hand, very confident that he's gonna win this fight on Twitter as well, saying that he's trying to prove himself as well. So hearing that from Shakur and listening to Teofimo Lopez, what do you think about the fight now?
I mean, everybody gonna talk about till they get in the ring. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mhm.
easy to say what you're gonna do till you get in the motherfucking ring. So to say that he gonna knock out Shakur, I doubt it. You know what I mean? To say he gonna knock out Shakur, I doubt it. You know what I mean? You probably never gonna lay a glove on him for real. Probably not even gonna be able to touch him. So it's good publicity. You gotta talk up the fight. You gotta, what I mean, make bold predictions and people gonna run with whatever you say. So I'm just waiting to see the fight. I can't wait for the fight. I think they're making a big deal about Shakur getting buzzed with the jab or he was off balance when he got hit with the jab. You know what I mean? But like I say, it was just that off balance. You didn't see him wobble or hurt or nothing. You just caught him in between, and you know that was it. So I wouldn't make no much big deal about that. I think, like I say, he barely won't even touch Shakur. I really watched. I watched him against Lomachenko. I watched him against Barbosa, and I watched him against. I didn't get to watch Claggett. I forgot what happened, but I went to go watch him against Steve Claggett. And Tio, like I said, I watched him against Josh Taylor. That's what I did. I watched the Josh Taylor fight.
I'm sure you watched the Ortiz fight too, right?
I didn't rewatch it. I watched it live, but I rewatched these fights. I rewatched the Taylor fight. I rewatched the Cambosis fight. I mean the Barbosa fight, and I rewatched the Lomachenko fight. I rewatched them, and Tio, he decent. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I'm not running home to see Tio,
Mm,
but he decent.
he decent. A lot of people say this is a 50-50 matchup. Why do you feel like they feel that way in this fight? A lot of people also say that Teal hits a lot harder than William Cepeda. Interviewing Shakur Stevenson's coach Wally Moses, he believes William Cepeda's better than Teofimo Lopez. What do you think about all that?
Now I don't know. He said, "Is who's better than Teofimo?"
William Cepeda.
Nah, nah, nah. I don't. I wouldn't say William Zepeda's better than Teofimo. Nah, no. I like Teofimo. He got some things he do that I like. He got some style in there. He got some style, and I can't hate on Teo like that. He got some style in there. Zepeda is just a workhorse. So I don't know where Pop talking about like that, but I definitely feel that Teo's definitely better than shoulders, head and shoulders above Zepeda. But that's Pop.
Yeah, yeah. Um, as far as who do you feel like has more to lose in this fight?
Well, obviously Shakur. You know what I'm saying? Because T.O., we already seen him lose. You know what I mean? We already see him look bad in fights. We already seen him, you know what I'm saying? So it's obviously Shakur. He's on the upside. You know what I'm saying? He's on the upside. Um, T.O. has two great wins. Two standout wins. Let me say that. Against Lomachenko and against Josh Taylor. Namely Lomachenko though. Shakur doesn't really have. He has some good wins, but he don't have no standout wins. And like I say, he's on the upside. So I think Shakur got more to lose. I think that's why he's so in tune with this fight. And when they're back against the wall, I think that brings out the best of them. And I think if I think Tio, I think Shakur's more hungry. He's the hungrier fighter, and that's what's going to play the part in why he will win.
Listening to Max Kellerman, he was saying if Tio if he can make this fight very like one sided with Teofimo Lopez, you might as well start considering him as the next Floyd Mayweather. What do you think?
Well, the thing about Floyd Mayweather was hard to compare about Floyd Mayweather. His offense was amazing too. Not only was his defense amazing, but his offense was really amazing. So Floyd Mayweather is hard to duplicate. Floyd Mayweather is hard to duplicate, and I know they don't want to give Crawford a lot of credit, for his defense, but he has tremendous defense. And he's very offensive at the same time. So maybe not replying with the quickness and the speed and the things that Floyd did. in the way that he did it because nobody can be a carbon copy. And I don't think Bud wanted to be a carbon copy, but some of the similarities. I mean, Bud has great defense. If you watch him, man, he had great defense. And like I say, if you want to go back to Floyd, look at the punishment he took against Chop Chop Corley. Look at the punishment he took against Emmanuel Augustus. Look at the punishment he took against Miguel Cotto. So I mean, it's like not Floyd was like unhittable. You know what I mean? It's not like he was unhittable. But people tend to forget those things. Definitely he didn't get hit as much, he limited it, but he definitely took some punishment against Cotto, took some punishment against Chop Chop Corley, took some punishment against Emmanuel Augustus, and those are just three that I can name. So I think Crawford has. I don't even think Crawford has ever sustained any punishment in that form, f- in the form of Augustus, in the form of Cotto, or in the form of what's the other fella's name I just named? Chop Chop Corley. So now you might have catch Crawford with a shot here and there, but it'll be one at a time. It's never two and three at a time, Never seen him bust it up, never seen him. So, but far as the next Floyd Mayweather, I think everybody got their own little thing that they do well. And Shakur is a great his distance and everything that he do. I think got a good punch selection. It almost seems like he can do more. And I think he showed a lot more in the Zapata fight. Hopefully he'll get to show it more this time, bring out some more of his athletic qualities in this fight. And I think nobody has really got him out of his comfort zone for real. Shakur is just it's almost like he's sparring in there if you watch him. If you watch him, I watched him spar plenty of times. So, what I'm saying? He loves to lay on the ropes. He's it's like he's not even out of first gear yet. So maybe this guy will bring him out of first gear and we'll see, a lot of things that we haven't seen in him.
He talked about moving up to fight Conor Ben at 147, but with a rehydration clause. People had lots to say. And then also, when he mentioned Devin Haney, also a rehydration clause with him. What do you feel about that as far as those matchups? Obviously, that's a fight that lots of people want to see. It's been brewing for years now. But now hearing that it needs a rehydration clause, what's your reaction?
Well, Devin big as hell. I mean, look at him. Look, you can see how huge he is. He's big as hell. He looked like, man. He looked like a damn near different person, like a different fighter. And I said it on my last live before he fought Brian Norman. Devin Haney big as hell. Shakur is not that big of a fighter. He's not that big of a fighter. But at the same time, like you said, it's business, and that's really the clause is so he doesn't come in at too heavy. Devin might come in the ring at 170. Shakur gonna be probably about 147 when they fight. You know what I'm saying? So um that's just something, I don't knock him for saying it and I don't knock him for believing in that, but just let that fight pass. They should have fought at 35. Devin obviously didn't want to fight. So now, what I mean, since it's off the table now, let's just go ahead and go on about their business. Let's let Devin go be Devin. And you know what I'm saying? Shakur be Shakur. I think that's just it. You know what I'm saying?
You
The
thought
fight,
he thinks it lost its luster.
yeah, yeah, because Devin shit on the fight for real. Devin, Devin, Devin shit on the fight. Devin shit on the fight. They all shit on the fight. Tank shitted on the fight. Devin shitted on the fight. Them was the fight. Everybody wanted to see them guys mix it up. Them three. Them they wanted to see them guys mix it up along with a Lomachenko. Devin was able to get Lomachenko, but Shakur was somehow not able to get Lomachenko. It's crazy, ain't it? How? What makes him, why Shakur couldn't get Lomachenko? And Devin just signed in with just like Shakur was like with them. And Devin was just like being a free agent, just like working with them. And he got the Lomachenko fight. Why? Because they believed that Lomachenko had a better chance to beat Devin, than Shakur. So, but I think the fighters lost it. Like I say, he shitted on the fight. There was no. I already talked to you about it. Everybody knows it. Everybody saying that Shakur should have just took the whatever Devin offered him. But again, Shakur won his world championship. Devin was upgraded to his championship. Devin did beat Lomachenko. He did beat Cambosis for the titles, but also um, Shakur he moved up and he was a lineal champion. So at that time, they were both lineal champions. Not maybe undisputed, Shakur wasn't, but It was Devin still had work to do, and that would have propelled him into a different stratosphere. The Lomachenko fight, I mean, like I'm saying, they just used Lomachenko, you know what I mean? But it didn't do nothing for Salido. So that does certain things, it didn't do nothing for Salido, but it did it for, what I mean, the others that beat him. T.O. did it for Devin. Somehow they, mocked that up as such a great feat. But it was a competitive fight, and I honestly thought Devin lost the fight. But again, so they didn't want. He still needed something to prove. He didn't like he dominated. T.O. was more dominant over Lomachenko, even though Lomachenko didn't throw no punches. So, but anyway, it would have been a good fight back then. Let Devin do his thing. I'm not mad at Devin. Devin do his thing. He's going for undisputed at 47. Shout out to him. They missed that. They missed that. I think Devin Haney's outgrew both of those guys, Tank and Shakur. I think he just outgrew those guys.
Listening to Tio was, weighing his options. He could have fought Haney, but he chose Teofimo Lopez instead. I mean, he chose Shakur Stevenson instead. He said that, he had more momentum coming off of that William Cepeda fight. So, what do you think? Do you feel like this is more of a competitive fight for Shakur, or do you feel like the Devin Haney would have been more competitive?
Oh, either one. Either one. Either one. I think they both was really tough fights. Like I said, I seen the fight with I seen the sparring session with Shakur and Devin, and I thought that'd have been a hell of a fight. Just like with Lamont and Tank. When I seen their sparring sessions, they knew each other. I think it could have been a fire fight. I just think, like I say, this guy said Shakur dropped the ball on him, but how? You cannot even give me a breakdown of how he dropped the ball off of the things that I said. Shakur was a two-weight world champion, a unified champion, a lineal champion going into that fight. So how in the hell did he drop the ball because he wouldn't take 25%? In what world would a Shakur Stevenson, why was he so less for Devin? Why would he so Devin would get 65 and he would get 25%? Why? It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. Shakur been a star. It just don't make no sense. Nobody can even tell me that because they hate Shakur. You know what I mean? Because they hate Shakur. I'm speaking with logic, and I'm saying Shakur was a lineal champion and a unified champion and a two-weight world champion. Devin at the time was a one-weight world champion. Devin at the time was a one-weight world champion. So how did Shakur drop the ball? So what made Devin Haney so much better to where he deserves 65% of a fight against Shakur Stevenson?
Mm, mm. No, I mean that fight obviously, you know, Bill Haney says Dev is gonna eventually, spin the block. He has Shakur on the list. So do you feel like the weight class is necessary either way?
He big as hell, yes. He big as hell. I'm saying if this guy gonna come in at about 170 and I'm coming in at 47, come on now.
Mm.
Or make them make the same day weigh-ins. Same day weigh-ins, But he said Connor Ben, of course, he said he put the stipulation on Connor Ben because Connor Ben big as hell. Went up to 60, been fighting at 60. So he putting a clause on Connor Ben. But what's wrong with a clause? That's keeping him more disciplined. Just like that's what this been a topic for over 20 something years about fighters putting on so much weight. And Gotti was like the poster boy for that. Gotti was putting on like 25 pounds the next day. So it's like, and I got a Ring magazine with him talking about it. So I mean, it's just like make it a fair contest. You know what I'm saying? That's all he's trying to say. So, but
But then you got guys like Bud Crawford that fought, Canelo Alvarez without a weight stipulation, and not caring, and showing that, this greatness. I don't give it weight doesn't win the fights.
yeah, but everybody ain't a Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? And Bud Crawford was in a position to where it wouldn't do him no good. Now see, he already getting discredited with all that. So how much would it have been if he would have did all that? So Crawford knew, you know what I mean? Crawford knew that, you know what I'm saying, that wasn't the way to go, you know. And he did right. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, everybody's gonna find a reason why my job wasn't why I did what I did and not give me enough credit. So even after all that, he's still getting discredited. So what does that say about people? You ain't gonna make them happy. You ain't gonna be able to please them if they don't want to be pleased.
Do you feel like Devin will accept the clause, and go with it if that time comes?
Nah, I doubt he accepted because he wouldn't even negotiate for the percentage of the purse, you know, when it was at 35. So I feel like, you know what I'm saying, and that's another thing that people don't know about Devin. You know what I mean? He really like he kind of bitchy, you know what I mean? He's just like a, if you call it a diva or, you know what I mean? And this is just from personal experience of being with them, you know what I mean? And the guys that been with him, you know what I mean? He funny style, you know what I mean? So, bro, they all gotta eat the same thing, bro. They all gotta eat the same thing. They gotta do everything the same. That's how they run their camp. Whatever Devin say, that's what they gotta do. Everybody gotta do that. Everybody gotta do what Devin say. That's how they run their camp. Weak as fuck. Ain't no individuals in there. They told me out their own mouth. We all gotta be on one accord. We all on one accord. So they do everything. Whatever Devin say, that's what they do.
Mm, mm. Man, I mean, this is definitely been a topic in boxing with this weight clause and Shakur, leading up with this Teofimo Lopez fight. Um, Obviously some great fights down the line. A lot of people are talking about Shakur, especially late of lately. You know what I mean? But this is good. Clarissa Shields, she just had her press conference yesterday with Franchon Cruz. Seems like it got a little attraction as well. Um, yeah. What do you think about Deontay Wilder and Usyk? Do you think that's a cherry pick?
Nah. Usyk really ain't got nobody to fight.
Mm.
Usyk don't really got nobody to fight. And Deontay Wilder, that's like it's like a hand up. You know what I mean? Put him back in the spotlight, give him a shot at the title. He really don't deserve a shot at the title, but you know he was a reigning champion. Had like 10 title defenses, and you know he can punch. But do you think he gonna land that shit on Usyk? Never, not this time. No. But you know what I mean? He do got a name, and Usyk just scratching off the list. You know what I mean? He just scratching them all off. He beat AJ, he beat Fury, and now he gonna beat Tay Wilder. So you know, shout out to Fury. You know what I mean? Shout out to Usyk, man.
What do you think about this weekend's fights with Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul Friday?
Oh man, you know, something to do, I guess. You know, we're gonna see if Jake Paul gonna get killed, and you know, if he don't get killed, then it's a lose for AJ. You know, AJ can't really win in this fight. He expected to win, and if he don't really win and look good winning, then he lost. If he gets beat, then he lost. So you know, far as public perception and everything other than that, you know, he really can't win. You know, only in that bank account. He winning like a that, like a motherfucker. He winning that shit for sure.
Big facts.
Yeah.
Big facts on that. Um, Damn, people want me to open up the phone lines. I don't know if you even have the time for that.
Yeah, I'm ready. What's up? I heard him say this. I wanted to say this though.
Go ahead.
I was just making a point that okay, they said the kid is from Massachusetts. Okay, he's still from the East Coast. So you know what I mean.
Jermaine
His yeah his contingency can come. No, Richard Hitchson is from New York. Chushu is from New York.
and Jermaine Ortiz is from Worcester, Massachusetts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But Tio is from Florida. That's all I'm saying. Tio's from
Right.
Florida. Stop saying he's from Brooklyn. Stop saying he's from Brooklyn. Y'all mad at me for y'all don't like the truth? Is he from Florida? Is he from Brooklyn? That's all. So y'all mad at me because I'm saying, and I'm saying it is this way. Y'all trying to ride a wave of Brooklyn for to get some fame. That's weak as fuck to me. You're not proud
Mm.
of where you're from. You're not proud of where you're from. Crawford rep Omaha, Nebraska. That's not known for boxing and everybody shits on him, but he reps Omaha, Nebraska. Just because he trained in Vegas, he never said from Las Vegas. Because he trained in Colorado, he never said from Colorado. So to me, that's weak. And if you like fake shit, then that's you. And that's the shit that you gotta look at yourself in the mirror. So you go continue to be fake. You go lie about where you from to feel better about yourself. For you think you can get a better opportunity. Then if that's what makes you do you, then that's on you. But then you know that it's a lie. So every time you lie, you tell somebody you're something that's a lie. I mean, that's you. If you like to lie, then keep lying for whatever reasons you are. But I don't like to be a liar. I like to look at myself and feel good about who I am and what I'm doing. So that's where I'm coming from. If you don't, what can I say to you? To me, it's trash. And so if you like that, you're trash. Shakur is from Newark, New Jersey. You know that. So trying to say he from Texas, he's from Newark, New Jersey.
Smash the like button. We got over 215 people on the YouTube, and we have the call-ins are now available on Instagram. Call in on Instagram if you guys want to come chop it up, have some questions for Bernie the boxer, or some statements. We're live on Instagram as well. Call-ins are available. Let's get to it. Shout out to Bud Crawford for his retirement.
Man, best in the world, best to do it. Best
Mm.
to do it. One of the best to do it, man. Crawford, super skill set. You know what I'm saying? And not only that trend, he made switching the trend. He made going both stances the trend. Yeah, and he fight both, but he's more comfortable in he's more dynamic in southpaw. But he can fight both. If he had to fight orthodox, he fight orthodox. But he's more dynamic in southpaw. He has more rhythm. He's just more dynamic in southpaw. But he can fight both.
No, absolutely. Absolutely, man. Smash the like button, y'all. Once again, guys, we have the phone lines are open. Make sure you guys want to come in, chop it up. You got my people mad at me on X, my G. Street Norbs. What's going on? You guys can call in now on Instagram live. We got Bernie the Boxer on. Let's get to it. Let's
Yes.
get to it. They said they wanted the call-ins. Now where they at?
Ain't nobody fucking with me. Come on, bro. I was rocking with you, Bernie, but you got all the money and turned on us. How I turned on you? What are you talking about? Oh, how did I turn on you?
Oh yeah, you just mentioned that on the live too. I forgot. You
What?
got that you got half a milli what for the Crawford fight?
I got a half a million in my fucking bank account. The motherfucker
Talk
talk about if I'm broke. Punk ass nigga. I'm worth a half a milli, bitch ass nigga. Think I'm lying? Shit, I ain't lying. What I'm gonna lie for? Half a milli, punk ass nigga. I'm talking like I'm broke, boy. I ain't been broke in forever now. Shit, it been years now. Have I went broke before? Yes. Is I'm broke now? Not at all. Not at all. Don't worry.
they calling. They calling. Smash the like button. Yo, Bernie, Kid Austin said what's up.
Kid Austin. Shout out to Kid Austin. Shout out to Kid Austin, man. He should be getting that title fight. I hope he fight for he probably ain't gonna get the Tank fight, but the WBA, look how they holding the Tank. They holding that belt for Tank. Man, them motherfuckers should have been get rid of that belt for Tank the way they be moving. Man, they should have been got rid of that belt, man. They holding Tank, man. Why? Because he the money man. So they pick and choose. You know what I'm saying? They pick and choose just like they upgraded Tank for the 30-pound title, the super title. They took it from the champion and gave it to the next motherfucker and just gave it away. Just took his title, just ripped it from him. So you can't be super champ. I know you the super champ, but I'm gonna give it to you. All that shit bogus sale. That's why the Ring magazine is what it is. Cause I'm saying each and every one of the IBF stripped Bud because they knew the fuck well he couldn't fight against he knew he couldn't fight Boots Ennis because he was already in the contract signed up for the rematch with Spence. So they already knew that. Boots Ennis knew goddamn well that once the fight happened with him and Spence, once he got out the way, that they was gonna have at least 2 fights. He knew that. Boots Ennis knew that they was gonna have at least 2 fights. What did he do?
Mm.
He stayed out the way. He wanted everybody, like I say, everybody talking about this, and I'm just saying as a person, no matter if it's Boots, it wouldn't give a fuck. I wouldn't give a fuck who your name is. What the fuck is you gonna get out the way for? I'm trying to beat them motherfuckers. I'm trying to be an all-time great. What the fuck I'm giving them motherfuckers grace for? Man, I want my shot. Even if it's Bud. Bud, get out the way. You wasn't in the IBF. This IBF shit. I've been IBF this, IBF that. Get your ass out the way. Bud, I'll get to you after I beat Spence ass. You know what I mean? Now I'm gonna make you wait 2 fights. Me and him, they gonna want a rematch with me and him. And once I beat his ass, and then I go with you, Crawford. They ain't had no selfishness in that. And they just said that somebody, man, come on. Man, come on. So all the organizations trash. WBA trash. WBO been pretty good. They about the only one that I haven't seen do nothing janky right now, and I hate to say that's true. The WBO about the only one that ain't. I just told you about WBA. I just told you about the IBF. We just seen about WBC, but WBO about the only one that ain't did nothing janky. The only one that ain't really did nothing janky that I can even come up with. WBO ain't did nothing janky. So that's why you know what I'm saying. You see they champions. Come on, man. So, fuck Mill. I forgot what fuck I was talking about. What fuck I was talking about?
Shit, you was going off. That's it. Shout
Man,
out to Moody Projects. What's going on? C. Franklin got our first caller coming in. What's going on?
Look at my guy. Millie, what's up?
What's going on, man? What's going on?
What's going on? Who coming in?
I got
coming on the show.
I got Bernie the Boxer on right now.
Oh, Bernie the Boxer is smooth. Boy, he is funny. Yeah. I'm right here in the special with my cousin. Right, you should have called them now. I should have took y'all on a tour here.
Oh, okay, yeah. We were just talking about Crawford. You already know he retired. What's your thoughts?
But me, I would rather Bud had about 2 more fights and took about $500 million. You know what I mean? Look, at least about 500 million he could have got more out the game. But I mean, he could sit back. And then everybody feel he could fight anyway. I'd have took 2 pies and cashed out.
Mm. Johnny Volga in the house. What's going on, Johnny?
Hey yo, what's up, boy?
What up, baby?
What's up, boy?
I'm out here shaking, baby. Fresh from Vegas, man. You know I had to go watch the Knicks win that real quick.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
I'm at the store.
In Vegas or you in LA?
I'm in New York at the spot. My special.
Oh, got you. Show them around there. Give them a tour real quick.
Hold on, I am. I'm about high turn the camera. Let me walk in here for him. Let him see this shit. I don't know how to turn my camera though.
Yo, Boston, you mad? You mad we won that chip?
Oh no, we won, man.
Come on, man.
No.
What happened? What happened, Bernie? Talk to me.
hang up on them. They ain't talking about nothing, bro.
They hang up on you.
I mean, you ain't saying nothing. Fuck is you? What you
hang up
calling?
on you, Bernie. We just saying hello, brother. Chill out.
I thought, okay, what's up, my boy? It's all good, but damn, you talking about some other shit and we.
My guy.
Now we cooking. We talking about Bud Crawford's retirement.
Well, yeah, Bud deserved that. I gotta turn this on.
On his own terms. That was an ill video. I like that. I like how he went out. You know what I'm saying? What difference?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What? Nothing left to prove. You know what I mean? I like C. Franklin said, it would have been nice for him to get another bag or so. You know what I mean? That would have been dope.
Yeah, I would get back, but I guess my homeboy, the Chinese boy, Pop 30, that fucked it all up, man.
Jennebeck.
That changed the whole equation. So you know everybody got probably gonna try to sneak and try to come at Bud. Nah, I'm
Yo, Ayo, Chief Bay Paul.
Huh?
Bay Paul, man. They hating hating on my man Bud right now, man. Now I'm saying.
Hey, that's my guy right there in the chat too. But listen, my dude, Flat, I need you to do it after I asked the other day. You heard?
I got you, bro. I know that.
Shoot.
What up, yo? What? Hold on, man, right now, son.
Once you do that, then my boy and them, right? You know my guy Millie City, then that's it. He gonna run with it. But it gotta drop first.
That's a fact.
What's going on, Flat?
I'm trying to fight Brian Norman Senior, man.
No, I hear him.
Oh shit.
Yo, Flat, we got Bernie the Boxer on here as well. We talking about Bud's retirement. What's your thoughts?
Yo, they hating on him, man. I see De La Hoya throwing shots already. Know what I mean? I see De La Hoya throwing shots. They mad. He like his 4 or 5 guys.
All right.
Peace, Franklin. All right, bro. Oscar talking about his 4 or 5 guys that could have beat Bud. That's why he retiring, like on some like he's scared type shit. He wasn't one of them. Nah, hell no. He never would have beat Bud. No generation would he have beat Bud. Never. Yo, you think he the GOAT of welterweights? Who? A Bud. Hell no. Floyd is. Of welterweights? Of course. Stop. By far.
What you think, Bernie?
What?
Bud not the
that's the weight that Floyd dominated.
the GOAT of welterweights.
That's when he was picking and choosing.
Go to welterweight. Who to go to welterweight?
Stop. Let's be real. When he fought
Mayweather?
You thought that was when he fought
Mayweather?
Birdo, that was this era? Like
Mayweather had a good run at welterweight, but Henry Armstrong had 19 title defenses.
Welterweight he ever fought.
Harry Armstrong
Had 19 title defenses of the world championship when he just won.
Should he have waited like Floyd? No. What made Bud great? What made Bud a Mount Rushmore fighter is that he moved up to 68 and beat Canelo, bro. Without him moving up and beating Canelo, bro, he's not Mount Rushmore.
What you think, Bernie? What you think about that?
Canelo
brings him to that Rushmore status.
Well, yeah, because of who Canelo is and what he's accomplished and the weight disparity. Yeah, I can see that. That put him over the edge. But you know what I mean? Because like I say, you do need us. It is the victories that you have that propel the people in the people's mind, not just your skill set. It's the skill set you apply with the other great fighters. And I think he did that, and it was a dominant victory as well. So I can see that. That's solidified him.
You think that welterweight was enough? No. Like to GOAT status? No. Knocked out every welterweight. That's dominating the division. But it wasn't that. The class of welterweights that was there was not that, bro. It was. I mean, he had some great wins, but I feel like what really put him over the top, bro, because he still would have went down as a great, all-time great. But what put him, bro, it's levels to this shit, bro. You got Mount Rushmore, then you got the tier underneath them, then you got the tier underneath that. What would have been a tier underneath Mount Rushmore to me is more, not to cut you off, my bad, Flat. Mount Rushmore to me is more founders. Nah, hell no. Yeah, that's the founders. That's what Mount Rushmore means. It's the faces of the sport. Yeah. And Bud probably still ain't there. Nah, he's there. There's only 4 faces. So he's there with Ali and all these. Yes. Crazy. He's Mount Rushmore with Ali, with Floyd, with Sugar Ray Robinson. Yes, bro.
I think people just say stuff like that about Bud. Bud is fucking great because he ain't get all the opponents, bro. Like everybody else got. Like he basically got the leftover of the best. Like you know what I mean? It was Spence. It was a couple more walkaways.
How was Spence a leftover?
The leftover.
How was Spence a leftover?
One of them, bro. I don't care about no.
Okay, but listen to this. When I hear him say that, tell me how was Spencer leftover? Spence was undefeated.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. He broke Ugas's face. He beat Danny, who was still a formidable champ. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah. How was Spencer?
When
how was him?
So how was Spence a leftover?
Yeah, nah, I don't agree. Definitely not a leftover.
Nah, not at all.
So I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's just and then another thing at the same time, he couldn't get them fights. Them guys that it's on personal record. It's on record if you want to research it. It's on record that each one of those guys, they treated Bud so bad. They were so weak. And boxing and sport is supposed to be different. They were so trash that they had on one of them PBC shows, they had all these banners up of the top welterweights and did not have Bud Crawford on the banner. They had Mikey Garcia on the banner and hadn't even fought at welterweight. Hadn't beat not a single welterweight. They had him as a top welterweight based on his accomplishments at 26 and 30 and 140. He never even beat a top welterweight. But Bud was a world champion at welterweight, a reigning world champion, and they had a list of banners of champions, of banners of the best welterweights, and he wasn't up there. I mean, I don't give a fuck what we talking about.
Honestly, that's why I applaud him for retiring, riding off into the sunset, because he did everything, bro. They never would have gave him the credit he deserved. So it's like, what am I still? I made my money. I accomplished everything I set out to accomplish. Now I'm saying, what more could I do? Y'all just waiting. Y'all waiting to do some shit like try to rob me in a close fight or some shit like that to try to strip me of my glory. So I don't blame him for retiring. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Mills, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Because I got a question for Bernie, some shit I was thinking about. I missed a little bit of live. But Bernie, I was gonna ask you, do you think, and you know, because I know that you not Crawford, you don't make decisions for him. He his own man. But my question is, do you
I
think
think he's on the phone. Hold on 1 second. I think he's on a call because he froze. He froze for a second. But hold that thought though.
Yeah, I got a few, I got like 2-3 questions for Bernie.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Okay. What's going on, Flat?
Ain't nothing, bro. Ain't nothing. Just watching the trajectory and how the shit going. I'm glad Bud retired. Sweet, because we still want to see him rumble. Now I'm saying, but you gotta respect what he did and the fact that they don't like it, bro. The game and yo, this boxing game is a motherfucker, bro. If they get a chance to hurt you, they gonna do it. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
I like the move Bud made, bro, because it really gave it like it put all the leverage on
Bernie's back. Bernie's back.
All right.
So what was your question?
I hope you can hear me, gang. But my
Yeah,
question is,
yeah.
do you think because I'm looking at it 2 ways, like this move with Bud could be 2 ways. It could be a leverage move for him to come back later and want more, demand more because of the demand to see him.
Yeah.
Or I'm looking at it as he really done. And so my question is, do you think that there's anybody left in boxing that if they built enough momentum, he'd come back for?
No, honestly, I don't, man. I honestly, I don't. I don't. I think Crawford been molding this question for a long time. He been going over it in his mind for a little while now, and it's just I think he got enough. I think he's the type of guy that he was not seething so much for fame and popularity to where now he just wants to have it. Now he just gonna I think he did everything he wanted to do. Shout out to Turkey Al Sheikh for making it happen. Shout out to Earl Spence for making it happen. You know what I'm saying, to give him those opportunities to prove his greatness. And I think he's satisfied with that. The man that took care of his whole family, what I mean, did right, stayed with the community, been with the team, loyal to his team. And like I say, I mean, a 5-weight world champion, 3-time undisputed champion, and 4-time Ring Magazine champion. There's really nothing else to do. I said this too, we fighters, get want to keep fighting, what especially has nothing to do, but he's a landlord. You know what I mean? He's involved in the community. I feel like Bud Crawford is a great ambassador for the sport, and they can put him in other ways to where, you know what I mean, like I say, like a Andre Ward, maybe not a journalist, but somewhere where he's a face of boxing and advocate for different things. And you know what I mean, be like an ambassador or a mentor to the sport. So I don't think he'll get bored with that. I've watched his struggles in the gym, the injuries, all those things that come along with boxing. And you know what I'm saying? Is I'm sure he's just done with all that shit. You know what I mean? I'm sure he's just done. There's nothing else more he can do. He was fighter of the year. He was ESPY award winner of the year. He's won all these accolades, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And it's nothing else for him to do, And a lot of time when guys come back, they're broke. A lot of times guys come back, they're broke. And then he's not a fame seeker as well. So he's not, a lot of times people miss the lights, they miss this, they miss that, you know what I'm saying? I don't think he's one of those guys, you know what I mean, that yearns for the spotlight. So I think he's done. I don't think it's a leverage move. I don't think he needed to pull a leverage move because he got the man behind him, but there's really nobody to antagonize him to do that. And I want to say this because I seen Stephen A talking about boots because everybody keep putting up boots, and I hope this kid does do what everybody think he gonna do, But everybody keeps saying boots, and they never listen. Nobody's never listening to what I'm saying, and nobody's never listening to what Crawford is saying. In that interview that he did with Gilly and Wally, right? He did that. Now he was in Philadelphia, so he was in their hometown, right? So they asked him about that. He said, maybe I will come back down and fight Boots. If he say, yeah, Crawford, yeah, all that shit you was talking. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'll fuck you up, I'll do this, you know what I'm saying? But that never materialized. You know what I'm saying? That never materialized. Yeah. So Boots never stepped to Crawford like hell yeah. You know what I mean? And I'll say it like that. You didn't have to disrespect the man. That's just an analogy. You understand? As men, as people, we're always going to defend ourselves. So nobody's going to have enough guts to say, nah, man, I think he too dangerous for me, or, I'm not ready for that yet. Everybody's going to jump in and say, you know what I mean? Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah. You know what I mean? So if they ask him, oh, you want to fight Crawford? He's going to say, yeah, I want to fight Crawford. But again, he never really did nothing to make the fight. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not knocking him for that, but I'm just saying the people that keep throwing up boots keep throwing up boots. Let's just I can't make you do nothing that you don't want to do. You know what I mean? You can have all the talent, you could be the greatest this, but I can't make you do that. I can't make you want to go to Harvard just because you're a straight A student for 4 years in high school and say you should go to Harvard, but you want to go to the community college or you don't want to go to college. I want that for you, but I can't make you do that. You know what I'm saying? I can say how much of a scholar you are or whatever, but if you don't want to do it, so I can't keep putting that on you. You know what I mean? And that's the thing about that. So far as anybody that to challenge Bud, I don't see nobody in there to challenge Bud for real, to get underneath his skin to make him want to do it. And again, I think like he said, the other fellow was saying that when oh boy popped dirty, that fucked it up. And I think I think that's the only thing that did, because it could have been another chance to go for undisputed or get another Ring Magazine title, and he'd have been the only one with 5 Ring Magazine titles. So that could have probably played a way into where, motivated him to surpass those, put another extra, cherry on the top of his ice cream. But you know what I mean? So outside of those things, when that thing, it probably just fizzled out. And again, you know what I mean? He's very involved in the community. I think he's at peace with everything he's done. I think he's at peace with himself. He's very mentally stable and very mentally strong. You know what I mean? And again, you know what I'm saying? Outside of his competitiveness, you know what I mean? He's a man of his word. And I feel like he's done.
Mm. Hey, Bernie, I got another question with that too, right?
Go ahead.
I don't mean to cut nobody off, Mills. My bad. But my other question is, what lane do you see? Like, what's more likely? Like, are we gonna see a Terence Crawford, like a camp, like fighters coming out of his camp, like he want to start his own, like like little thing, or will we see him coaching? Like, what you think is the most likely for him, or do you think he's just stepping away from the sport completely and he just done? Because I feel like I completely agree with you. I feel like Crawford is one of those dudes where it got to be a fire lit under. It got to be some fire, and I don't think that I don't see no fighter that's gonna light no fire for him to come back. So I'm saying, what do you think is most likely? Coaching, maybe being a trainer, maybe starting his own camp. What you think is gonna be the next move?
Well, one thing about us is that we all run as one accord. So Bomac is the head trainer. So all the fighters under that umbrella, we're a part of them. That's you know what I mean. So to his camp is Bomac's camp. So all the fighters that Bo trains, you know what I mean, we all work with. So there's no, we've been like they tried to get Red to go with such and such fighter. Some people, other champions said, can they get Red? Can Red come and work with them? You know what I mean? And Red refused. Some people asked me, can I come out there and be with them? You know what I mean? But we're as a whole. So people say like, get your own thing, but we are our own thing. You know what I mean? It's not just me with, you know what I mean? It's not just Red. It's not just Bo. It's not just Saul. You know what I mean? So when we bring fighters in the camp, they bring the fighter to us and we all agree, should we take them on or should we, you know what I mean? So that's just what it is. So when Bud, anytime that Bud is around, that's been that the fighters that's come up under the BNB umbrella, whoever it was, he counsels them. He gives them as much game as he can, you know what I mean? He trains alongside of them. So I think, like I'm saying, my thing for Bud would probably be more of an advocate for the sports. You know what I mean? Whether it's going to the Senate and talking up for the fighters, whether it's going to, things of that nature, going against the organization and bodies, using him as I don't want to say political, but just an advocate for the better whole of boxing, and I think what a guy that's incorruptible is the best spokesman for that. A guy who was not made a machine behind, not pushed, no agenda was used for him, you know what I mean, will be the best advocate for that. Now, the thing that come along with that is that people don't like truth. You understand? People don't like real, people don't like authenticity. And as much as you see it all the time, it's good to say, it's good to have positivity and be good, but mostly they really don't. You know what I mean? Mostly it sounds good to say that, but the action doesn't really speak behind it, because discord and discontent, it causes chaos and it keeps, things going. It's almost like if they made cars that never broke down, well then nobody would buy a new car. You know what I'm saying? If they made things that didn't break, it would eliminate things. Or if you make a better way, then that person, the competition is out, and then you know what I mean? So it can cause a riff in that. So as long as it's confusion, I think, people looking for that. So I don't know how that would go, but in moving forward, I could see him doing that and maybe make some changes because at the same time, you know, the fighters, this is a brutal sport, it's a mix. The fighters choose what they're doing, and they're also putting there for your entertainment, just like everything is for your entertainment. So as for that, in that sense, I mean, we gotta owe them something, and the people behind this shit want to owe them something. I mean, it doesn't pay to because if I'm looking at to be a fighter, but I see all the pitfalls of it, it might change my mind. I might have a lot of talent, but who wants to go with all those things? You know what I mean? The promoter stealing my money, or the manager ain't doing right, or the organization bodies. It just makes you. It can put a dampening effect on you. You know what I'm saying? So, if you're a manager, if you're a promoter, you're gonna always be good. So why not try to do good for the guys? And like I'm saying, these guys. You say you got Thomas Hearns losing his home. You know what I'm saying? You got the guys having all them problems with in their brain. You got people that's never coming back off of I mean, it could be anything. Like Melody Taylor, the fight getting stopped, early, 2 seconds, 2 seconds to go. And he just keep playing that mind over his mind over and over. So the things that a fighter go through, I mean, should be taken seriously. Should be taken seriously, and we should take care of in any sport that you're in, whatever it is, whether you're a school teacher, whatever you in, you should want to take care of your employees or the people around you, whatever field that is. So I think Crawford can be an ambassador for that, and I'm hoping for that.
Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. We got 230 people on the live. Chris Legg, thank you for the 5 piece. Bernie, salute to you, G. Appreciate you chopping it up with us. Bud the best to do it. Did his career his way, ended it on top his way. Salute BMB.
Appreciate you 1,000 times. Appreciate you a thousand times.
I got another one.
Wait a minute, we got a new caller coming in, so I don't want to make sure we skip the line.
Go ahead. I want to hear him.
You have another. All right, go. Let's
Yeah.
go. Cause he's loading. So my
You
bad.
said what?
The
Go
other
ahead. Go
guy's
ahead.
loading.
Go ahead.
So I just not trying to cut nobody off, let you orchestrate your shit. But my other question was, hey, can you hear me?
Oh,
With
other callers here. Hold on. Let me not skip. All right, let's go. New caller coming in.
Oh no, my bad, man. Hey yo, ex Bernie, man, is he looking for any other fighters to coach and train?
That's a. I'm not saying that I'm not looking. I'm not saying I'm looking or I'm not looking. If something comes my way, you know what I mean. If something comes our way, because I'll say we a team. We wouldn't mind taking a look at him
I ain't
or
gonna
her.
lie, Bernie. We really, hey, tell him he really the truth, man. Like, hey, niggas really fuck with him out here, man.
He can hear you. Okay, next question.
Oh yeah. So we've been seeing how much Bud has been talking about the TKO and shit. And me personally, I fuck with the structure of it as far as everybody going for one belt. And I was just gonna ask you, how do you personally feel about the TKO and Bud kind of backing it and shit like that? How do you feel about that whole little situation?
I think so, but I don't know about a new. I don't know how a new organization, a TKO World Championship would go. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It might
Mm-hmm.
take some. It might take some doing. You know what I mean? But I'm with the Ring magazine. You know what I mean? So I'm Team Ring magazine. I don't think you can get a better title than that. I'm a purist. I'm a guy. I'm a nostalgia type of guy. I'm a historical type of guy, and I think we should just get behind the ring. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's become a business because Turkey owns it, but or whatever. But I feel like the ring is an entity, and really anything. I couldn't say government because they're corrupt, but the Ring magazine is the best. You know what I mean? And I don't think you can even. I think the championship is the best. I don't even think they could make a better belt than the Ring magazine title. I think it's just a beautiful championship belt. I think the one champion is great, and the 10 contenders is lovely. And I'm just one of that. I'm not one to. I don't mind change, but I think the Ring magazine stays, just like the Bible. It doesn't change. You know what I mean? The Ring magazine stays. So all these other people that's trying to do different things, and I don't think you need to start a whole league for that. I just think you need to implement better better policies in the game. The Ring magazine is the Ring magazine, but I think they should just implement better policies in the game, whether it's as a legislature where they go back to same day weigh-ins, whether it's just different things of that nature, whether they end the organization bodies all the time or they structure the organizations to where they're doing it a little different, where you losing your title. If you lose one of your organizational titles, you know what I mean? It gotta be a warranted. It can't just pay him like they did with Tank. Took the man title away because one of them missed weight and devalue his title. That's just disrespectful. The IBF stripping this guy of
He's getting a call.
meal. Okay.
Got you.
Yeah. Oh, listen, I'm gonna get off of here and just give me this second. I'm gonna finish with this question because people just keep calling me. Whether it's something like that, knowing the IBF, knowing the man couldn't defend his title, you know what I'm saying, and then stripping him of the championship. The WBC stripping this man because of over the money and not taking the money and not even not taking anything, um, or not having not even being ranked in an organization. Once you become or have an organization title, you're not no longer ranked in the other organizations. I think all those things can be reformed. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I would like to see that go. You know what I mean? But far as starting a league and all this shit and TKO and trying to be like Dana White and all, I don't think we need that. Boxing is a prehistoric sport. Boxing is one of the apex sports, and I don't think it needs to be watered down. I think it's either you love it, or you don't. All these trying to trying to make all these different tricks to get people involved in boxing. I think that's wrong. I don't think we need that. I was saying this too. You know, the back in the day, you know what I mean, which boxing is, if you're not transcendent like a Ali, they really tend not to really, or Sugar Ray Leonard, they don't boast you. But it's other champions, like I say, the all the time Bud, he was a fisherman. So why he wasn't on a Bass Pro commercial? Then he's tapping into a different lane because people that love fishing and different things like that, then they're like, oh, he's a fighter. So now they're tapping in. Different things that the fighter likes. Why does you get them to promote those type of things to get to that different audience? You know what I'm saying? He don't have to be a clown to get you to get to those different audiences. And so I feel like those are the things that we could have be implemented to bring more fans to the sport. It's not about the antics. It's not about the antics. So that's just my take on that, man. I don't so I'm definitely with the one belt thing. And I feel like at the same time, with one belt, it just gives you, I'm the champion. How can we both be sitting in the fucking room and you the world away champion? Now, if you got the WBO and I got the IBF, okay, because of the way it's perception and where it's perceived, my family he's a world champion. In my mind, I'm a world champion, but I'm not the champion. You know what I mean? So, for it's like giving all the kids a medal. You know what I mean? Like everybody making the team. You do tryouts, but what's the tryouts for if everybody gonna make the team? You have nothing to really strive for and nothing to really overcome. And what is really you accomplish? The accomplishment is somewhat hollow. You know what I mean? And the things worth having is worth working for. Things worth having is worth working for. And that nature. You know what I'm saying? If it don't matter if I make it to the league, but I was only on the bench. Okay, but I made it to the league. I didn't pay my way to the league. You know what I mean? I wasn't finessed. You know what I mean? And I know it's gonna be a certain amount of situations where they can put you, but only they can do is put you in the situation. They can't perform for you. You know what I mean? So even in that situation, you so I'm good. Whatever they're implementing, I know Bud is an integrity type of guy. So I'm sure that far as what they're trying to help with the fighters, he's all for. And I'm with that, but I don't know necessarily about I don't even know none of I just heard TKO. I don't even know what it all involved, but I'm definitely with the one champion.
Last caller here. We got Cashman P. What's going on?
What's the word? What's the word, man? First and foremost, my IG is Cashman P, but just so you know who I am specifically, Joshua Plummer when I be sending all them super chats and shit.
Appreciate you, Joshua Plummer, for all the support.
Yeah. It's just questions I be wanting to know and shit. But I gotta say, shout out to Terence Crawford, hell of a career, man. I kind of feel like that 160 shit fucked it up with that PED shit. Because I was just like, yeah, he fucked it up. Failing them drug tests. Because I kind of felt like that thought was there for like, all right, nigga, let me see what the fuck is going on down there. So I kind of feel like if that shit didn't happen, it would have been a possibility that he would have went down there and just undisputed again to make this shit like untouchable. You know what I'm saying? But still a hell of a career. You know what I'm saying? One of the greatest of all time. I got to witness Floyd. I got to witness Terence. You know what I'm saying? So hell of a career, man. Ain't nothing else to be said about him. He's better than a lot of them greats that a lot of people fucking put up there, and especially a lot of these PED using ass greats too. He was a clean boxer, and one thing that if you're a fight fan that you gotta respect is a clean athlete. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Terence Crawford, man.
Hey, man, appreciate you. I got one last question, then I'm gonna hop back on the YouTube, bro. My last question is, what moment, like what day or what was the real sign that when you knew Terence Crawford was next level? With y'all being with him from the start, what gave you that? What day was it? What sign was it? When did you know?
When I told the story earlier on my live. So if I did a live earlier today, so y'all go check it out on my channel, my YouTube channel, Bernie the Boxer.
Yeah, I did a live fuck with you, bro. I'm gonna fuck with you.
I can say we was at the he had been in the gym. He had came back from the gym. He had got kicked out the gym. He was back in the gym. He was training. But anyway, was at the ringside world tournament in Kansas City. He was a 106-pound novice. So he wasn't an open fighter at the time. They put him in a novice division. And he switched southpaw, man. And he was in a fight. He switched southpaw and knocked the guy out with a right hook, man. And the guy was actually dead. I think Bud was like 12, maybe 13. And he switched southpaw and knocked the guy out, man. At 106-pound novice. And just that transition in the heat of the battle, it was just nasty to see him do it. And what I mean, he the only one came home with the championship. And I mean, I like that. That was just one. You know what I mean? I knew he had the guts and the heart because he sparred my little brother when we first started going to the gym, and everybody, my brother beat everybody. And Kobe outboxed him, but Bud was still ready to fight, ready to keep going and give him everything that he could handle. So I knew right then that's what endeared me to him right off the rip. Like I said, even if he never boxed no more, that always is etched in my mind. Like, oh, that's a little dude that was with Kobe. That little dude don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? So I'd already fuck with him off the
Yeah.
strength of that. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the boxing, when he switched southpaw and knocked that boy out with the right hook to win the ringside novice championship at 106. He just went from there to there. He went from winning everything. He really won the 119, but they robbed him the 119-pound ringside championship. They robbed him. He beat Prentice Brewer for the ringside championship at 125, and Prentice was number one at the time, a national Golden Glove champion. I mean, so I mean, like I say, he just went on and on. You know what I mean? Lost in the semifinals in the national championship to Danny Garcia semis. Beat Danny in a repeat for the blue and gold national championship. Won the PAL national championship. Fought in under 19s. I think he lost a close fight to Belmontes or something, but he was always there. And the guys always triggered him. You know what I mean? Coming from the city, he always wanted to be. Rashid was one of the guys that inspired him because Rashid used to come to the tournaments with all the belts. And when he seen Rashid fight, he just knew he had to get better. Michael Dallas, so he had a lot of guys that inspired him. And like I say, but
Yeah.
that was the moment. And then I seen him do this crazy shit in the gym. He knocked out this guy in the gym, man, this old man, this grown man. He wasn't an old man, he was a grown man. And the way he did it was nasty. It was not just like a simple. He did something special, the way he made this move and twitched his body and hit him with this punch from this angle and knocked him out, had his head hanging from the bottom strand of the ropes, and he was like 15. It's like, God damn, this nigga cold. Yeah.
Shout out to my guy Greg Hackett on the live.
Shout out to G, man. Love G. Love his takes. I love G. Shout out to G, man.
What's the deal, fellas? What's going on, Bernie? Shout out Greg, man. What's the word, G? Born, what up? Yeah, man. Chillin'.
Yeah, we just talking about Crawford and the retirement and all that.
No, for sure. A lot of people been jumping on my ass about some of the things I was saying.
What did you do? What did you do?
I think they misinterpreted what I was saying. So I was basically saying that I think Bud is the type of guy right now, he'll be retired, but he's so much of a fighter. If it's something worth coming back, basically he'll be back. You know what I'm saying? I just think it got to be worth it.
It could be. Could be. Could be, like I said, like I say, I think the only thing that I think it would have been the undisputed championship at 60, or at least the Ring Magazine champion at 60. And I think Janabek, the way Lara looked, he didn't look that good. He looked old. Janabek, you know what I'm saying, didn't pop dirty. And Adamas, he's like the black sheep of the division. So I think, you know what I mean, it's really nothing else to do. But I would agree with him too. I think if in my mind, just talking, just thinking, when he tested dirty, I think that just threw it out the window. That fucked it up. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I don't know what's going next now, and you know what I'm saying. I don't know if anybody can emerge. Went through all those things, so who could emerge? You know what I'm saying as that, but you know what I'm saying. Until that, I don't know. I think it's. I think it. I was saying the same thing, Greg. How much of a fighter he is, but again, I don't think it's nothing more tempting. I think he got more money than he could count. And you know what I mean? A lot of people don't even know the kind of money that he got for real. Everybody think they get it. I'm gonna shut up, Bernard. Shut up, Bernard. Don't, because they already watching me. Shut up, Bernard. I don't know. But anyway, you seen it. It's 50 is enough for us. 50 is enough for us. You know what I mean? So shit, 50? Shit, boy, I'm never looking back. Fuck. So anyway, all right, man. Hey, listen, I gotta go, man. I had some people calling my phone. Appreciate everybody in the chat, man. Greg is good. I need to get with you a little bit more. Mill City, always a pleasure talking to you, man. And just like that, man, I'm gone, man.
Appreciate you.
Bet.
All right, Brian.
Yep.
Salute. Greg, I'm gonna tap you in on the YouTube, send you the link.
All right, cousin.
All right, I just sent it to you right now.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest, Mills.
Talk to
While
me.
you in transition,
Let's go.
look, I peep energies. It's kind of interesting. Bernie hopped right off as soon as my guy Greg hopped on.
Oh, talk to me. How you feel? How you feeling about that?
I don't know, cause I'm just like, damn. Cause it's only one person that everybody keeps saying can emerge. It's only one guy, and I think it's just interesting, bro. Like I think that whole situation interesting, bro. Cause like as much as like I'm a real Crawford fan, bro. But I would actually like to see the Boots fight, bro. Like I would, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like I would like to see it. But I agree with Bernie though, man. There's really nothing left for him to do, man. But I'm out of here though, bro.
Appreciate you.
Man, appreciate you tapping me in, dog.
You already know, man. Salute. The worldwide. Thank you for the 2-piece. I think Jerome Boots Ennis fight would be worth it. Ooh, how much is it worth though? I mean, don't you agree that Boots got to fight Virgil Ortiz, right? That's the fight for Boots right now, right? But if he gets rid of Ortiz, so disgusting, right? They're gonna be looking at the fight like, imagine if Boots and Crawford went in. You know what I mean? And squabbled it. Pause. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it would be would it be something that's competitive? Let me know what y'all think in the comments section. But no, I hear you on that. The worldwide. I appreciate the 2-piece as well. We're gonna be having Greg on coming on right now. So salute to everybody on the live as well for tapping in. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying these segments that we've been dropping on a daily. But yeah, I mean, if it's not Crawford, who would y'all want to see Crawford fight? Let's be real. Like, do you feel like the Boots fight would be one of those fights that after, he was too young. He wasn't ready yet. Would he get the credit? You know what I mean? Those are things that how much money would it be? I mean, damn, 50 million? And then you seen Turkey Al Sheik with the emoji, the heartbreaking emoji. You know what I'm saying? He was basically saying something there. He was saying something, ladies and gentlemen. Let's be honest. You know, Turkey Al Sheik, that's his favorite fighter, Terence Crawford. His favorite fighter. So we got Greg Hackett on the live right now. Salute to Greg Hackett. What's going
Yeah,
on, Greg? You on the
chilling, chilling.
move?
Yeah,
Love it. So yeah, man. Let's talk a little bit about it. You said that in the comments they were giving you a little grief about some of the things that you said
yeah.
about Crawford. Let's elaborate a little bit.
First thing I said was it ain't nothing like a boxing check. That's first of all. Ain't
Mm-hmm.
nothing like that. Um, Two, Bud got. I think Bud got too many kids to be retiring right now. Not saying he can't take care of his kids. Not saying he don't. He didn't be smart with his money because that's where people start going with it. Like yo, like Bud invested his money. Great, he know what he doing. This and that. You don't know what you're talking about. I was never shooting at his pockets. My reason for saying that is anybody that got kids is never enough. You feel me? It's never enough if you know. So you, when it come to boxing, him being the fighter that he is, he gon' if you give him a reason, he gonna find a way back in that ring, bro. He have to fight, but he did because y'all gonna pay me 10 million to punch on him. I'm gonna do it. It's easy. You know what I'm saying? This is what I do every day. So I think people took that and ran with it because they took it like I was trying to say, oh, he'll be broke in a couple years. No, it's not that. I just think when you a fighter, when you a natural so many times for free, anytime it's worth it, or anytime it look like it's gonna be a layup, why not go get it? That was my point. I mean, so I think he'll be off for like a year and a half, 2 years before we see him come back.
Who would be that guy that he would come back for?
Whoever whoever is the guy in the next 2 years, meaning let's say Boots beat like
Virgil.
he beat Fundora, he beat Virgil, he beat Fundora, and then he beat somebody like Yo-Yo Hernandez. It's gonna be like, oh shit. You know what I mean? He gonna be one of the guys. So then it's like, all right, well, what would it be worth for Bud to come back? Bud might make way more than what he just made. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that.
What do you get out of the Turkey Island Sheik putting that emoji, broken heart type of emoji online?
Oh, I guess I mean if I would have saw it, I guess to me that means that, damn, I had plans. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Now I can't do the things I want to do.
right.
You know what I mean?
Do you feel like let's get into some of these comments that Oscar De La Hoya put up. What a tool. He can't. I can name 4, 5, 6 fighters that can compete and probably even beat him. Please.
Yeah.
First
But you
statement.
already
He's a tool.
but
What a tool.
yeah, that's out of pocket. Yeah, I think the name calling is out of pocket for one. For two, this is his personal career. Every fighter handle their career how they want. I mean, De La Hoya did what he wanted to do. I mean, Bud gonna do what he want to do. But I think the tool thing, I think that's out of pocket. He shouldn't have said that. Yeah, I got a question for that though. How come when fighters say shit like that, I mean, they get penalized or they ask to apologize, but when promoters and shit say shit like that, you supposed to just forget about it.
Hmm.
You're not supposed to hold it against them. I mean, I think that's kind of crazy that he said that.
What do you mean? What do you think he means by what a tool?
Oh,
Mm. Turkey's
you know what I
hoe?
mean, I don't know. Just it's just out of pocket though. I mean, I feel like Bud should try to get him to come back and fight. You know what I mean? Fuck it, De
Okay.
La Hoya, you get in there.
His next negative statement was two good fighters he beat. Congratulations with the with the laughing my ass off, crying eyes emojis.
Yeah. Again, it's some hate there because anybody that know that been in that ring, they know fights don't be easy for real. For real. I mean, so to say that you just on some hate and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Because De La Hoya, let's be real about De La Hoya career. De La Hoya was bigger than a lot of guys at 30, at 35. Bigger, a lot
Huge.
bigger. You know what I mean? So come on, we talking about he was like 5'10", fighting at 130, 135. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, took advantage of a lot of dudes, and you caught a lot of them on the way out. A lot of old fighters you beat up. I mean,
Mm.
but we don't talk about because you the golden boy, right? I mean, but that's out of pocket.
You're talking about the Camachos, the Pernell Whitakers.
Everybody was older, and Pernell that fight was at 47. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was older. Even Chavez. Chavez was older. All them dudes was older. So you kind of got a gift too, though. Like, be real. Then
Mm.
when you start getting in there with motherfuckers your size, they beating you up. Pacquiao beat him up. Bernard stopped him with a body shot. You know what I'm saying? Them dudes
Lo-
is just size though.
lost 2 times to Mosley.
Shane Mosley got over on you twice. You know what I mean? Tito. You know what I'm saying? Guys your size. So that's
Do
the
you
game though.
do you think when he means 4, 5, 6 fighters, do you feel like they're guys in his roster,
Nah,
and he's
he
just saying
probably
it
only got one.
to be a promoter type deal?
No, he not even saying it to be a promoter. He's being a hater. You're being a hater because instead of saying congratulations, what you did in your time was great, you saying shit, I know a guy or I got a guy that'll beat him. So what you trying to do is you trying to bring light to Virgil because you didn't want to put him in there with Boots. All you had to do is put him in there with Boots. If he beat Boots, then we gotta give him that respect. But if he just gonna keep going off of Well, what if? What if? What if? Like nobody not gonna keep going off that. We gotta see what Virgil really made of. Not when you fighting a bull chuck that's gonna stand in front of you. Not them type of dudes. We talking about somebody gonna make you think and make you work at the same time. You know what I mean? So what he trying to do is, since Bud is the topic right now, he trying to take some of the attention from that and put it in his office. But nah, you ain't got nobody that can fuck Bud right now. Be real.
Right, right. No, so when you mentioned, that you don't feel like he's gonna retire, you feel like, he's gonna get that urge to want to fight again. Do you feel like Boots does everything that he needs to do it, and that fight will happen? Because people will be
I,
screaming for it. Eddie Hearn will be constantly promoting it.
I'm saying he could. I'm saying he could do that. Do he have to? No, he don't have to come back and do nothing. You know what I mean? But as a fighter, when you leave and you see fighters starting to, you know, get some real traction going, and guys is like, yo, that guy is great. I think he's better than Crawford. I think this guy's it. You know what I'm saying? When you start hearing that enough times, it's like, hold up. I gotta get back in there and show y'all. And I think that might be the case because he's a competitor. You know what I mean? Anybody that listen, he's this guy's a professional boxer. But in his pastime, somebody will be talking shit about wrestling. He ends up in a wrestling match. I don't want to wrestle nobody. I don't want nobody grabbing on me. I don't want to grab on nobody. I don't want to do that. If you want to fight, we can fight, but don't grab me. The fact that he do little shit like that, that show you what type of competitor he is. I'm not about to wrestle nobody. I don't feel like that shit. If we start wrestling, I feel like we might as well fight. You know what I'm saying? But that's the little shit he do for fun. So he's that much of a competitor that he'll wrestle with a stranger. You know what I mean? Just to prove he's stronger. You know what I'm saying? So you take a couple years off after being the man, couple years off. Now they calling somebody else the man. You think he wouldn't come back for that money? You know what I mean? It's not always about the money, but it's definitely for the money too. You know
For
what I mean?
sure. The worldwide, thank you for the two piece. I think Jerron Ennis fight would be worth it. What do you think?
For sure, definitely be worth it.
Mm.
It'll definitely be worth it. That's a great fight stylistically. That's a great fight. Period. That's one of the best fights in boxing. You know what I mean?
But you feel like it'll fade away. I mean, do you feel like Ennis would need to be outspoken for it? I don't know. Do you feel like that would just to get that promotion and stuff to talk about it?
I think it would be corny if Boots started talking about that fight. The
Because he's
reason it would be
retired.
corny is because the guy's retired and it never looked like it was really going to happen anyway. You know what I
Mm.
mean? So it would be corny to talk about it, to be honest.
Right. Right. Nah, I hear you on that. I didn't get to hear too much. I was getting like 10 minutes into your breakdown on Ortiz and Richardson.
Yeah, Jermaine. I think Jermaine gonna have to really get on the good foot this fight. He gonna have to step on the gas. I mean, I know he a good boxer, but he gonna have to take it to Richardson Hitchens if he really want to win. They not giving close decisions to guys like Kenneth Sims, guys like Jermaine Ortiz, guys like Lamont Roach. They not giving close decisions to those guys. Those guys need knockouts or knockdowns rather. So Jermaine Ortiz is gonna have to go in there and really put some pain in. You know what I mean?
What did you see? What did you get out of them as their amateur bout? I know it was trending. Obviously they're both a lot better now. But what did you see out of the amateur, and can you take anything out of it?
I mean, from what I saw at that point, Jermaine Ortiz was of the level as far as like his conditioning and things like that. He was of that level, which is the open class level of boxing, open class amateurs, elite. But it looked like Africa was a step ahead of him at all times. It always looked like he just was one step ahead of him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. Do you feel like that would be the same case as when they meet January 31st?
I mean, it could be, but it has to do with confidence. You know what I mean? If he come in there with a certain type of confidence, you know what I mean, then we might get a different fight. Meaning, Jermaine Ortiz. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right.
If he come in there with a different set of confidence, we might be looking at a different fight.
What do you think about Africa and Keyshawn Davis' stare down in the press conference and their interaction?
I thought that was like a episode of Martin. You know what I'm saying? It was funny. It was just funny. It was funny because I don't think they're gonna fight. Not right now. I don't think they're gonna fight next year. So that's why it was funny. I just felt like it was an opportunity to pop these shit and get their name back going in the algorithm. I don't think that, you know what I'm saying? I didn't feel that energy. That's not the energy I was feeling. Now, Keyshawn, I believe Keyshawn will fight Africa. I believe that. I believe Africa will fight him, but it's not. You could tell it's not like something they really talking about. Because if it was something we really talking about, I'm not gonna keep sitting here playing with you. Maybe those days are over in boxing, where you guys really feel some kind of way. Maybe those days is over because we seen a lot of clowning around, playing around, and being too friendly, and a lot of touching. And you keep touching my shoulders. You trying to see if I'm in shape, and you keep pushing me to see what kind of weight I got. Like it's a lot of little shit I be saying that's like this shit don't look cool no more. You know what I'm saying?
No, I hear you on that. I hear you on that. Who do you feel like would win in that fight, Africa or Keyshawn?
That's it. That's a 50-50. Here's why. I think that uh I think that Africa is the more disciplined fighter when it comes to his style, when it comes to his jab. You know what I mean? Taking his time and really, picking apart his work. But Keyshawn is more intense. A lot more intense, going to the body, better body puncher, I believe. He's more comfortable on the inside. So what that tells me is um Keyshawn would have to kind of force a fight out of Africa. You know what I mean? If he can't get the fight he's looking for, Africa could win it, but he got to be willing to let his hands go. He can't go in there and bullshit with Keyshawn. You know what I'm saying? He would have to let his hands go, but he would have to pick his spots. But if Keyshawn could make him fight at a level, I mean at a pace where Africa is not comfortable, then Keyshawn could pull it off. But if Africa could keep the fight at a slow pace, Africa could pull it off. I mean, that's a great fight.
The worldwide. Thank you for the two piece. Africa versus Dev after Ortiz lined it up. Africa and Dev. What you see in that fight? Africa. Oh my bad. You good? Smash a like button, yo. We got 240 people on the live. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't. Also subscribe to my man
Yeah, my bad.
GHBTV, Greg's channel. So yeah, back at it. The worldwide. Thank you for the two piece. Africa versus Dev after Ortiz line it up. What you think?
I love that fight too. I love that fight too. All of these is great fights that we need to see. That'll let us know who the man is. You know what I'm saying? At 147, 140, all that shit. That'll really let us know who the guy is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You
So
know,
that's why I like all them fights.
you know, we talked. We were listening to some interviews with Shakur Stevenson. Him talking about, moving up to 47 to fight Conor Ben, but with the with the rehydration clause, and also said he would need to fight Devin Haney with a rehydration clause. Do you feel like now that fight, if it doesn't happen, there's no rehydration clause, do you feel like that fight won't happen?
Yeah, if it is a rehydration clause, we're not gonna see it. I mean, either way, we're not gonna see it because one guy saying he won it, one guy don't care. So what happens is the reason we don't get these fights because of things like that. So I don't know if we see that fight. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, Shakur to me have to go out there and beat the shit out of To before he talk like that. Not saying he can't talk like that. What I'm saying is you gotta
to dictate terms.
yeah, you gotta give us something. You gotta give us a reason to why you're the dictator. You can't be the dictator if y'all got the same career. If y'all both doing the same shit, y'all both doing like this, y'all moving like this. Somebody got to be here. You know what I'm saying? To be able to dictate. I'm not seeing that from Shakur. I'm not saying that. All right, here's what I'm saying. Shakur did a great job with Zepeda. Great job, right? Everybody was clowning him about running and this and that. And guess what? All right, I'm gonna stay right here. I'm gonna get busy. Perfect. But Dev had so much against him against Norman. What he did looked even better. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's like, damn. It's like I had him, but damn. You know what I'm saying? Now I don't. So it's like you can't tell Devin Haney, just like I believe Devin Haney can't tell Boots or he can't tell Virgil or somebody like that. No, I'll fight you at this weight class. Like, nah, they we not doing that. None of these guys have None of these guys have that type of leverage over the other guy because they all got pretty good careers. Everybody's careers is going pretty good right now. So how can you do that? Now, if you take two bad fights back to back, even if you win, but you look bad back to back, then it's like, come on, bro. Like, stop playing. Like, you ain't even been putting on for the people. You know what I'm saying?
So that being said, does Shakur need just a regular win over Teal to be able to kind of put him over the Devin Haney when
Uh-uh.
it comes to the pound for pound? No,
No, he got to cook T.O.
cook him.
He got to make T.O. look like an amateur. If he don't make T.O. look like an amateur, he not you're not dictating nothing. You gotta,
Mm.
you know what I'm saying? You gotta go in there and be like, yo, I'm the man. Like, stop playing with me. You gotta make it one of them Jones. If you don't make it like that, come on, ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. All y'all young boys, all y'all undefeated. Somebody take a chance. God damn, somebody do something. You know what I mean? And the reason Dev is off the hook, because he took a chance. He went up in weight. He fought the champion. He fought a guy that was supposed to be a devastating puncher. We went in there looking for this guy to, oh my God, we waiting and we waiting, we waiting. Next thing you know, Dev Haney, 12 round decision, unanimous, easy fight.
It seemed like it would be a shame if we don't get the fight over the weight. Just be because we've seen that with the Tank situation, he's a lot smaller than these guys, so we could see that possibly definitely not happening. But when it comes down to these two guys, we feel like they most likely be the best two in there, especially if Shakur beats Teo.
That's what I'm saying. So why not just give the people what they want, baby? If somebody come in, listen, if you weigh in at 147 and you come back that night to fight at 155, and that guy come back at 160, so what? Let's rumble. It's 5 pounds. Let's rumble. Come on, man. And it just make me wonder, like, damn, have these guys? And I understand business. Let's get that out the way. I understand business. I get it. I get it. I get it. Because that's what everybody say, the business. But it makes me wonder, have these guys really been through some shit in their life? Because 5 pounds ain't, you know what I'm saying? Dudes is out here, you know what I'm saying? It's getting crazy out here. So come on, have you ever really been through anything to make a fight about 5 or 10 pounds? Like, fight. Like, if you're a fighter, fight. Like, come on.
Do what Crawford did to Canelo.
You got to do it, baby. You got to make it happen because who want to keep talking about the same shit over and over? I don't want to do that. I want to talk about who really the guy, like who the guy and why. And right now, it's hard to see that in boxing. Just like Virgil sold us a dream. He got us all gathered around the TV. All right, y'all know Boots in Texas, right? All right, let's see what's about to happen. Come here, Boots. Let me talk to you. This is the fight to make. And all right, let's do it. The time is now. Okay, all right, we're going to do it. Then 20 minutes later, well, I always wanted to fight Earl Spence. It was my dream ever since a boy. Ah,
Yo, that fight looks like it's
ah,
getting spooky right now. Again,
ah.
every time they interview Virgil's dad, he keep talking about the past.
That's how you know. That's how you know. That's how you know. You got to be real. Got to be real. They know what that type of fight is going to be. So it's like, and I'm not saying they think they're going to lose, but it's just some fighters you could look at and be like, God damn, we're going to be rumbling. Like, we're going to be like, okay, Tim Bradley back in the day. No matter what, you got to fight Tim Bradley. That's not an easy fight. Why you think Floyd never played with Tim Bradley? Why you think that? That's a
Mm.
sloppy fight. It's a sloppy, no matter what, that's a sloppy fight. You get in there with Tim Bradley, you got to rumble, bro. You get
Wait,
in there with Provatnikov, you got to rumble, bro.
wait. Now that we on there, right? Tim Bradley want he's looking at it. I want Jay Leon Love and Jake Paul on the same night.
Yeah, yeah. Let's make
He's
it.
talking like
Y'all
that.
like y'all like to put on shows. Let's put on a show. I'm with all that shit. Come on, y'all want rumble? Let's rumble.
Shout out to Well Connect Elite Sports. Shout out to the homie Nuke in the building. Lewis Crocker accepted an offer from Devin Haney for February. So that's a unification.
Right.
He's unifying the IBF title. That's also leverage right there, bro. That's some more leverage right there at
That's what I'm.
47.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And if you pay attention to how Dev, I'm gonna give y'all something people might not pay attention to. If you pay attention to Dev and Bill, right? What they do, they keep doors open. They don't close doors. What I mean is they don't call dudes bums. You know why? You might have to fight that guy. When they first asked him about Norman, oh yeah, he good, strong guy. You know, he could punch, and this and that. They knew they could beat him the whole time. The whole time they knew they could beat him, but they kept it in our minds like, all right, yeah, he's a good, big, strong guy. They did the shit with the gripping him up and all of that. All of that was cool, it was fun. But they knew the whole time that was a good fight for us because it's a winnable fight. You know what I'm saying? But we're not gonna disrespect them. These guys
until the
disrespect guys
until the shit
until
signed.
fight week. Until
Yeah,
fight week.
exactly.
Fight week. Fight week. We hit the switch. We going. All right. We on the other side. Let's get it popping. But these guys, what they do is they disrespect opponents that they might have to fight one day. And then when the fight happened, we looking at it like, well, why you fighting him if he won shit? You know what I'm saying? Then you go in there and have a tough time with him. So now we looking at you funny. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pay attention, man. Bill Haney, say what you want about him. He's smart. He's smart. He know what to say and how to say it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, has he made mistakes? He's made mistakes. Everybody do. Everybody do. The thing is, they know how to keep the paper rolling in. And that's how you got to do it. You got to keep the fucking paper rolling, bro. Got to keep it going. You know what I mean?
The Schofields, they first talked about, fighting Abdullah Mason for possibly 2.5. Now the bid went up to 10 mil. What's your thoughts?
That's saying I don't want to fight. That's saying that. The kid just got the title. Now you want $10 million. It's not happening. Fight's not happening. That's saying you don't want to fight. The crazy thing is that kid will fight anybody. The son, he'll fight anybody. The dad, uh uh.
You think he's protecting his son?
Absolutely. That's his son. Who wouldn't protect their son? You know what I mean? But you got some fathers, they like, yo, you gotta get out there and get busy. Then you got some fathers, my son ain't doing that. Not mine. Not my baby. You feel me? That's how it go.
So, they were talking about that situation, and a lot of people were saying that he faked his son's death. You know, what do you think? What do you believe in that situation with Saudi Arabia?
You said fake this death?
He's a son of a, yeah. People were making comments like, "Yo, he was faking a death in the
Oh, you talking about when
hospital."
he was in the hospital?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, man. I never went that far with a lie, so I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
So I don't. I mean, I don't know. If he really was in the hospital, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't know. I
Right.
don't know what happened.
Yeah. No. A lot of people are saying they don't want to believe because there was so many excuses leading up to that fight. You know what I mean? That is like it was like, oh, how do you have that many excuses leading up to it? But
Yeah,
some people feel like he was protecting his son from Shakur.
real shit.
But you don't feel that way. You feel like it could. You like
I
I
don't.
don't know.
I, I never met Schofield. I never met him, so I don't know. I don't know what type of guy he is. He might be that type of guy. I don't know. I don't want to put that on his name. At the
Right.
same time, Schofield Jr. could have really went through something. Going to another part of the world, your body is going to act all types of ways. But I don't know. I haven't been to Saudi, so I don't know. When I get there, I'll see how they treat me and how my body feel and all that. Then I can speak on. I mean, maybe I don't know, but I don't know. You never know in this world, man. It's a lot going on.
You feel like he'll be champion? He's
Who Schofield?
yeah, I think he's number one in the WBA.
Who Schofield? He could. He
Yeah.
could. I mean, he got. I feel like he got the shit. I think Schofield's a dog. I like Schofield. I think he a gangster in that ring. Cause you know why? I've seen him cut. I've seen him knocked down. You know what I mean? I've seen him in tough fights. I see him. I give it to the little critter. He got some gangster in him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and he did Farmer nasty.
He did. He did.
He did very nasty. Um, yeah, man. A lot of things has been going on with that with boxing lately, man. It's been good. We've been actually
Real
getting
shit.
treats. What you think
Real
about
shit.
Tank saying he want Roach next?
Take it, Roach. Will be. We already know
No,
that's
my
a
bad.
banger.
He said he want Pitbull Cruz. I'm sorry.
Banger. Another banger. We looking at bangers.
Is that the
You know what
fight
I
you want to
mean?
see too?
I don't really care, man. I like Tank. I think Tank is a an interesting fighter. I don't care about what he do outside the ring. Not saying the shit with the women. I don't care about. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I don't know them situations. I don't know. I don't know what he got going on with that. I'm talking about inside the ring though. I like watching Tank Davis. You know what I mean? I like watching it. So anybody versus Tank Davis, I like to fight. I want to see him in there with the big names. Hell yeah. Do I want to see those rematches? Hell yeah. They good fights. As long as we getting good fights.
You know what was crazy, Greg? People were saying that they he was getting his ass kicked in sparring with Shakur and Ray Ford, and all this stuff happened, kind of like around the time that him and his that girl and that little case was going on. Then we see interviews of Jake Paul, and his nose is really crooked, and he was telling us like a couple of the heavyweights in sparring. He said, I think the Cuban flash hit me right here, dented my whole shit.
Yeah.
Him going through all these facial discussions, like, do you feel like that's gonna be one of the mental things that in this fight with Joshua, he's gonna understand that this guy is hitting differently?
I don't think this is a real fight. Joshua Joshua looks too comfortable. What I mean by that is he don't look like he trying to set his brain on I'm about to knock him out. Because that's what he could do and that's what he should do. This is some movie Steven Spielberg type of shit. I don't know what this is about to be. This shit about to be crazy. Yeah,
For real.
we about to see two knockdowns, all type of weird shit back and forth.
Back and forth?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna see two knockdowns. It's gonna be like a Broadway play. It's gonna look real crazy.
When you
Trust me.
when you say that, right? When you look at, their talks of supposedly Fury and Joshua, and you seeing that in the ring, them posting it, is that kind of like what you mean? They already setting up another fight because this one's a play?
Absolutely. Here you go,
Mm,
Mill City. Absolutely. This is a
rip.
play. This is a Broadway play. Except they're gonna play it in Miami or Florida, wherever they at in Florida.
Yeah, 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 for sure.
What's up, cousin?
Who do you think wins the at least Fury and Joshua?
Fury. Fury's too sharp.
Too sharp.
Yeah, Fury's too sharp for Joshua. Joshua could hurt him, but he got to go right out there and get to it. He got if Joshua want to beat Fury, he got to watch a lot of Holyfield. He got to move out like Holyfield move out.
Right. Right. Yeah, a lot of people say that, Joshua's chinny.
Partially,
You believe so?
yeah, partially. You got to touch him. You got to touch him the right way.
It's crazy. De La Hoya got Jake Paul winning this fight.
Yeah, he probably read the script.
He probably read the script, huh?
Yeah, dudes be having sources. Sources send you an email. Say you didn't get this from me. Go ahead, so on and so forth. You know how it go.
Yeah. You you think with some of these huge ass paydays, um, do you feel like Turkey had a lot to do with Crawford retiring?
No, I think Crawford probably just need a break, and then probably he probably was advised. If you take a little time off, let people build their careers, and at the same time
Let
let your
them miss
name
you.
almost be like a yeah, let them miss you. Let your name almost be like a myth, and you'll always get those what if fights, those fantasy fights, right? And then after sitting out for a while, damn, what if Crawford came back? Now your name is worth more. You know what I'm saying? When you come back,
Right. Right. Who's greater in your eyes, Floyd or Crawford?
that's a tough call. Two different eras. You know what I mean? One guy came along when everything opened up perfectly for him, and the other guy had to fight to get fights. So
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? It's tough to say. It's tough to say. They're both great fighters, though. They're both great fighters,
Big facts. I believe so too. I believe so too.
for sure.
T, what do you think about Tio and Shakur's press conference?
That joint was corny.
It was
It was
corny.
corny. Yeah, it was
Who
corny. It was good, but it was corny. It was good because we see that the fight is really happening, but it was corny because Tio was just saying shit. He was just saying crazy shit.
out of pocket shit?
Yeah, like shit that you ain't. You know what I mean? You got kids, bro. Like, I mean, you don't want your kid looking at that later on in life and be like, Dad, what would you. I didn't know you talk like this, or you know what I mean? Not saying your kid don't know you curse or whatever, but I'm talking about the freaky shit. You know what I'm saying?
The Jigama.
Yeah, that shit was corny. Yo, Pop. Yo,
He
Pop.
said that was corny.
Appreciate
You
you.
you what do you think what do you think Shakur sees that he went up and took this challenge?
I mean, it's a familiar op. He's familiar. You know what I'm saying? He know him. He know what to do to beat him. Been in the ring with him a bunch of times. Yeah, at the same time, it probably wasn't nothing else on the table this big. You know what I'm saying? This is probably the biggest thing on the table. So sometimes you gotta take the big piece. You know what I mean? Take the big piece, see what happens.
Yeah. No, I hear you on that. I hear you. Do you feel like these guys right here, now that Crawford retired, right? Do you feel like
Yeah.
these guys are kind of like battling for that top five pound for pound spot?
It's always gonna be a battle because it's just so many guys. But they're gonna have to put a lot of work in to get the number one spot. It's gonna have to be some amazing wins. It got
Oh,
to be
not
some
the
amazing.
number one, number five, at least top five.
Oh, you saying crack the top five? I mean, this shit, man. People put in there who they want, man. You know what I mean?
For
So
real.
I don't really get stressed out about that shit. I mean, people put in there who they want to put in there.
Big facts. Big facts. Well, G, you already know, man. Always a pleasure,
Yeah,
man.
for
Really
sure.
appreciate you for tapping in. Let everybody know where they can find you and next time that you're gonna be on live.
I'm gonna tell my brother to move so I can slide out. Yeah, GSB TV, man. Appreciate y'all. Greg Hacker 86 on Instagram. Yeah, I'm about to come back out. I'm gonna get
All
my
right.
brother to move. All right, what's up, baby?
Well, you already know. Appreciate you, man.
All right, my guy.
Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed that show. We'll appreciate you, and we'll be back with another one, maybe a little bit later or tomorrow. Who knows? Peace.